All right. Wait for some people to fall up in here. We're gonna wait for some more people to fall up in here. But real quick, shout out Dukalux with the 100 Norwegian Chrome. Yes, coffee, espresso, baby, espressos. It has to be the espresso. Regular coffee, every now and again, but espressos, no doubt. We're gonna wait for some more people to fall up in here. Oh, what's up? Unique. What's good? Just waiting for some more people to fall up in here, gentlemen. What's good? What's good? Yes, yes. On your way in, like the vid or like the stream actually for the algorithm. Let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna get into this, man. We're gonna get off into this. You know, the funny thing, I was gonna drop a pre-recorded video. I wasn't even gonna do a live stream talking about this shit. But then I thought about it. It's so much, it's so many layers to what's going on. There's so many different things to what's going on. And I wanted to take time to break it down because it's very intricate. It's very intricate what's going on, right? All right. I mean, it's simple, but it's intricate at the same time. Jillian, what's up, girl? Marktavius, Frankie Shy was good. Dukalux was good. Who else we got off in here? All right. All right. So, real quick, what are we talking about? The silent betrayal. How women trade relationship loyalty or emotional attention. Now, I want to be clear, right? I want to be very, very clear. This is not about the whole gender of women, okay? Right? If you pay attention to what's going on or what has been going on with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, and then you take it to Ayesha Curry and Steph Curry, what's going on with them is very common. It's very, very, very common. The difference is because these couples are extremely wealthy and famous, what they have going on, it gets a lot of different attention. It's salacious news, but a lot of what's going on can be simply explained if you understand this. Give me a second. Hold on. Oh, real quick, if y'all have a question, put a Q in the chat followed by the question. Now, so again, if you look at the history of how they came to be, how Will Smith, how Jada Pinkett, how they came to be, how they met, how they came together. Steph and Ayesha, same thing. There is one simple thing that the whole situations or that both situations have in common. Both women settled. Both women settled for those men. And both women admitted it. They admitted it. Jada admitted she wasn't into Will like that. It was her mother that convinced her. Ayesha, same thing. She wasn't into stuff like that. Her family convinced her. So let me say this because we're going to break this down. We're going to break this down. And when you think about relationships and you think about what's the difference between a healthy relationship and unhealthy relationships, what's the difference? And what guys don't understand is that a woman's emotions hold the key to everything. And what I mean by that is this: if that woman is with the right man, smooth sailing. But if she's with the wrong man, is problematic. Okay, let me get a little further. Let me get a little further. Again, guys, if y'all have a question, I saw that right there. Let me grab that. If you have a question, put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. So there's something that I wanted to tackle. Okay. So real quick, and I want to say this, and this is what guys have to understand. And I'm gonna get to my point. The silent betrayal, how women trade relationship loyalty for emotional attention. And I'm gonna get deeper into it. So just we gonna get there, right? So what a lot of guys have to understand is that online and secretly, okay, online and secretly, there are a lot of women who understand exactly how Jada and how Ayesha feel. They know exactly how they feel. They know exactly. This is why you might have some women who are speaking out, right? And the reason, and let me tell you why most women, the women who are speaking out, right, about Ayesha and Jada, the reason why some of them, right, I'm not going to say, okay, now again, the segment of women who are speaking out against how Jada and Ayesha are conducting themselves, some of those women, the reason why they're speaking out, it's not necessarily because they disagree with Ayesha and Jada. It's because they're like, girl, you're not supposed to talk about that shit in public. Yes, you wanted to be a kept woman. You found a man who can provide for you. And that's the main reason why you're with him. Shh. Enjoy your life and don't talk about that shit, right? And that's the problem. The silent betrayal, how women trade relationship loyalty for emotional loyalty. So, real quick, I just want to make sure I ain't got no questions. Let me go back. Again, guys, if y'all got questions, put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. So again, and this is what I want guys to understand. When I talk about this, right, I want you to understand how you select women, right? When you're dealing with women, how you select women, right? When it comes to them being in your life, how you get the woman, meaning what attracted her to you? Why is she fucking with you? That's important. You have to know why the woman is there. What what is motivating her? It can be more than one thing, but what is motivating her to be in your life? You need to know that, right? Because what's motivating her to be in your life is going to have a whole lot to do with her emotional state and how she behaves within the relationship, right? I'm gonna break that shit down, and I'm gonna break down how guys get themselves into situations with women who aren't appreciative, right? And they're ungrateful of the opportunity, especially when you can provide a luxurious, opulent life for them. But yet, because guys say women are never happy. There's a big reason for that. Now, just generally speaking, that's true. But in certain instances, that's even more truer about women are never happy, especially when they settle. Now, let's think about this. This is what guys got to understand. And this is why a lot of guys are angry at the Ayesha Currys of the world or the Jadas of the world. Because they'll look at Will Smith and they'll say, you know, he was considered one of the most eligible bachelors. A lot of women find him attractive, right? He got the height, he had the stature, right? Got the money, looks, money, status. A lot of people say Will Smith got that. Steph Curry, light-skinned brother with the colored eyes, you know what I'm saying? Worth a lot of money, one of the best basketball players to ever do it, right? He got all of that. These bitches are never happy. And this is what guys don't understand. Though there are plenty of women who find Will Smith sexually appealing, Jada never did. Although there are plenty of women who will find Steph Curry sexually appealing, Ayesha never did. And this is what people have to understand. And women know this. Women know, based on how Jada is speaking and how Ayesha is speaking, they know what it is. And just look real quick, and guys might not like this, but this is just a fact. Because we say that women are emotional, right? And here's the thing about sexual attraction. Sexual attraction is an emotional response, right? Whether you are sexually attracted to a woman or she's sexually attracted to you, that's an emotional response. But when a woman is fucking with you and she is not sexually attracted to you, there is no emotional response to fucking with you. See, when we talk about logic and being pragmatic, right? And being practical, that's where you take emotion out of it and you make a wise decision. What Jada did and what Ayesha did, whether guys agree with it or not, they made logical choices. Although they were not sexually attracted to those men, in Ayesha's case, Steph was chasing her. People were telling her, girl, you would be a fool if you didn't marry that nigga. Go get your ass, get over there. Get over there. Let that man take you out. You better get over there. Will Smith, Jada's mom, get your ass over there and go date that man. And both women did it reluctantly. They did not want to date them guys. They did not. However, regardless of how guys feel about it, they made the right choice. Jada and Ayesha made the right choice. They married the right guys. Here is the problem. Steph married the wrong woman, and Will married the wrong woman. See, the women, they got the guy. Not the guy they wanted, but they got the guy. If you think about it logically, they got the guy. Right? The problem, Travis Hunter's another one. You throw him in there. See, Pat Holmes. See, and that's what, look, let me break something down to you guys. And this is what I want you guys to understand. And this is where women, even though women could be logical, this is where them being emotional creatures still backfire. Right? I'm gonna break this shit down. See, when a woman settles for a man, right? Logically, he's good on paper. Right? Because Ayesha can say, I think my husband is handsome, but I'm not sexually attracted to him. Jada can say, I think my husband is handsome, but she's still not sexually attracted to him, right? Now, this is what I believe. I believe both women love their husbands. I firmly believe that. But I don't think they are in love, right? By a woman's standards. I'm not talking about a man's, because we don't do the in love shit. But, and women know what I'm talking about. Women know exactly what I'm talking about. When they are head over heels in love with a guy. Jada was never that with Will, and Ayesha was never that with Steph. Ayesha, when she did the interview, she admitted that Steph would always try and talk to her about how she was feeling. Right? Always. Now, here was the thing. Let me get back to my point. And here, this is why leadership is important, right? Because if you're not managing your emotions as a man, and if you're not managing and mitigating what's going on with the woman's emotions, you can end up making a bad decision as a man because your emotions are wrapped up in it. Will was hell of emotional about Jada when he first started dating her, right? He was the one that was head over heels in love with her. Same thing with Steph. He was hella emotional when he was dealing with old girl. He was the one that was head over heels in love with her. Here was the problem. When women settle for a man they are not sexually attracted to, they are emotionally out of balance. Like, hear me out. When women settle for men they are not sexually attracted to, they are emotionally out of balance, which is why, in many cases, they will end up cheating with a man they are actually sexually attracted to get back on balance. To get back on balance. When it comes to a woman's wants, needs, and desires, in order for her to feel like all of those things are being met, Her wants, now listen to me, her wants, needs, and desires, in order for her to feel like all of those things are being serviced, if you will, it has to be with a man that she is sexually attracted to. It has to be. It has to be. Now, again, a woman can settle and she can still love the guy almost like a friend, like I care about him. I don't want nothing bad to happen to him, right? A woman can care for you like a real good friend, but it's not the same thing as and I got to do this in quotations, the romantic love. See, the romantic love is what women want to feel. They want a guy to give them that love and they want to give that love back to that guy. But that wasn't the case with Steph and Will, right? So let me see if we got any questions. Hey, Jillian. Hey, hey. Here's the problem with love. Here's the problem with love. Love can be a beautiful thing, but people disrespect the power of the feeling. Okay, let me try to make sense of it. Okay, love can be a beautiful thing, but people disrespect the power of the feeling of it. Okay, meaning this. If I'm dealing with a woman and I know she's falling in love with me, and I know that I'll never deal with her beyond just sex, but I know she's falling in love with me. And although I told her and I'm showing her with my actions, this is just sex. Once she starts to lean into her desire to want to be with me and she begins to get pushy, I have to leave her alone. I have to leave her alone because I respect the power of that feeling and how that can cause people to do goofy ass shit. So because she has these intense feelings, and I'm not trying to reciprocate that shit, I gotta leave her alone. Right? So even if we look at Jada and we look at what's that girl name? Ayesha. They were extremely selfish in this regard. Okay, let me tell you in this regard. But remember, women will always prioritize themselves. And women are selfish. But everybody is selfish. Men, women, everybody is selfish. It just so happens that women have the what's what I'm looking for? They have the notoriety of being the sex that's more selfish than everybody else, right? Fair or unfair, it is what it is, right? But the problem is Jada knew that the feelings that Will had for her was the feelings she's supposed to have for him. And she knew she wasn't going to return or reciprocate those feelings. And she knows that Will is hurt. She knows that it fucks with him. She knows this. She knows that. Ayesha, same thing. She knows that. She admitted that Steph tried to talk to her about her feelings. So they know this because they know that the feelings that their husbands have for them is usually reserved for women to have those feelings for their man. Right? I need you guys to understand that. The silent betrayal. I'm going to get to my point. How women trade relationship loyalty for emotional attention. So here's the big issue with everything. I don't care about women settling for men who have money. If a woman is mainly there because of your money, I could care less. I'm not offended that women do that. They're supposed to do that, right? Society was set up. Excuse me. Society was set up. People were socially conditioned that women are to be provided for, whether you agree or disagree. Now, I know I'm not taking care of no chick. Y'all can do that shit, right? But whether you agree or disagree, me, I have no problem with it. If guys want to take care of women, fine. If they don't, fine. But those women, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. He's the breadwinner. He takes care of everything. I'm the wife. I'm gonna give him his children. Even if some of them are weird as fuck, I'm not casting any aspersions. I'm just saying what I see, right? And boom, I'm not mad at women who's, if a woman finds a rich man who wants to marry her, baby girl, go do that. Ladies, if you find, even if you're not sexually attracted to that motherfucker, if you now be prepared to be miserable like those women are. Those women are bitter and miserable. Let me say this real quick. Those women are bitter and miserable, and they are making their husbands pay the emotional toll for them being emotionally out of balance. Peep what I said. Those women are making their husbands pay the emotional toll for them being emotionally out of balance. But two things can be true at the same time. A lot of that rests on the shoulders of those men. It's their fault. You knew that chick wasn't feeling you. Guys, you know when a woman, you know. Look, Steph Curry has had more female reporters and fans at his games give him more choosing signals than his wife ever did his entire marriage. That's some real shit. It sounds like I'm being facetious, but I ain't. That's some real shit. Have y'all seen them clips of how women be looking at him? Ayesha never looked at that nigga like that. Go back and watch them clips. And look, a lot of these guys, these sexually frustrated guys, when they see those clips of women looking at some of these athletes, they be like, see, that's what I want. I want a woman to look at me with those eyes. That's what they want. I get it. I understand. It's a beautiful thing, guys. It's a beautiful thing. I get it. Okay, real quick, let me make sure. I got you, Miles, but give me a second. We'll make sure we get all the questions. Okay, so real quick. Justin Tejeda. Oh, hold on. Oh, my bad, babe. All right, right there. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, bro. All right, so real quick. Okay, the title. Let's get to the title. The Silent Betrayal, How Women Trade Relationship Loyalty for Emotional Attention. See, when I hear people talk about loyalty on social media, 99% of the time, it's all about sex. 99% of the time, it's all about sex. It's not about this shit. It's not about this shit. Ayesha is a disloyal wife. I'm telling you right now, I'm not talking about sex-wise. Ayesha is a disloyal wife. Jada is a disloyal wife. And I'm talking about emotionally. Okay, this is what I mean by that. I actually ended a relationship because of this shit. Right? So let me break down what I mean. I had a chick, many years ago, right? For whatever reason, and God bless the dead, when my mother was alive, for whatever reason, women who met my mother that I was involved with, they always wanted to be next to my mama. They always wanted to get close to my mom and shit. So one particular chick was complaining about me to my mama. She went to my mama complaining. Why Carrie keep fucking with all these girls? So, my mama being the woman that she is, told the young lady, it's just Carrie. Just talk to him about it, And then as soon as the chick would leave, she would call me. She weak. She weak, son. Mama, what you talking about? That girl, she weak. Mama, what you talking about? She calling me complaining about you. She know who the fuck you is. She know who she with. She better accept that shit. That's why I love you, mama. I'll talk to you later. So after that, the next girl that I brought around my mama, before she met my mama, I told this chick, hey, right, because she came to me, she wanted to be in a relationship, right? She wanted to be in a relationship. I said, you know what? Let's explore that together. Let's talk about that right quick. And, I had a couple things that I had to make sure she understood. And one of the very things that I told her, establishing boundaries, I said, look, I had a little situation sometime back where a chick I was involved with, right, she went to my mama with our personal business. Now, peep what I'm saying. She went to my mama with our personal business. This is our relationship, bitch. How dare you go to my mama talking about our shit? And that's the problem with Ayesha and Jada. Why are you on the internet in public sharing intimate shit about your fucking marriage with your husband? That shit is worse than cheating. I don't care what you motherfuckers say. That shit is worse than cheating, in my opinion. There are certain things that a woman can do that's worse than cheating, because if a bitch cheat, you just get rid of her. But what those women are doing, you are sharing intimate conversations and goings on in your husband's feelings. You're sharing personal conversations with the public, all because you're emotionally out of balance. And here's the thing. See, when women vent, they don't want you to fix it. You know what they want? They want allies. They don't want you to fix it. I know women, y'all ain't gonna like that. Y'all want allies. They want allies. So when they go, to these red table talk and they say all that shit, and women are like, yeah, girl, that charges their emotional battery. Yeah, see, women understand me. And here's the thing. And they're right. Women understand them. And ladies, I do too. I get it. I don't have no problem with women settling for niggas. And I know when y'all settle, you're gonna be unhappy because he's not the number one choice. And here's the funny thing. I bet you everything I own that Jada and Ayesha would have been willing to marry a man they were sexually attracted to that would be worth far less than their husbands right now. I promise you that. I promise you that. If they could have had the man that they chose, okay? Now, when I say the man that they chose, I mean the man that their bodies chose. The man, look, let me tell y'all a story real quick. One of my exes, right? Her mother was friends with a chick from India. And y'all know in India, they be having those arranged marriages. This is how real it is with women. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. So she was friends with this Indian chick. I believe she was in her 30s, right? So her parents were like, yo, it's about that time. It's about that time. You need to be getting married. So they were set to, they had a guy in mind. So she went to her parents, mostly her father, and she said, please, let me pick. Let me pick. I don't want him. Let me pick. Right? And she's a little more westernized than the typical Indian woman. She still had her traditions, but she's a little more westernized because she's living here in America. So the father and the mother said, you have 30 days. I swear to God, true story. They gave her a month. In 30 days, she found her husband, dog. I swear to God. Because she wanted a motherfucker she was sexually attracted to. Because women know if they settle for a dude that got some bread, one part of their life is going to be taken care of. But the other part, they're going to be unfulfilled. This is why Jada and Ayesha are speaking out, because they're unfulfilled and their husbands can't fix it. This is what people don't understand. Will can't fix it. Steph cannot fix it. The only thing that will fix it, really, is if they left. That's it. If they stay, then the mental anguish and the emotional torment will continue. That's it. That's it. But again, women, I love y'all, but I understand it. I get it. Yes, she did. No, yes, she did. Yes, she did. Look, yes, she did. Yes, she did. Ayesha said, I was never attracted to Steph. That's what she said. Then, if you look at her shenanigans a couple years back, when I guess the half-naked guy came out and she took off her ring, yes, she was playing. I get it. She was joking. But every joke has a little bit of truth in it. Because again, and I'm not saying that Jada doesn't enjoy having sex with Will. I don't know and don't care. Same thing with Ayesha and stuff. I don't know and don't care. What I am saying is they were not sexually attracted to these men. They just weren't. And it's okay, sugar bum. See, I'm not mad at it. My only issue with Ayesha is even talking about it. Because it doesn't, why are you mentioning your husband? Why are you, well, we had a conversation. Because my thing is this, and any woman who know me, any woman who's ever dealt with me, they cannot be on Instagram or any other thing mentioning me in any light that could be perceived as negative. It ain't fucking happening. I'll get rid of you. I remember real quick, my ex, she, God bless her soul, right? But this is when you know that your influence is heavy. I remember she posted something on her Facebook joint, and I got a little notification, and she posted something, and I don't know if she wrote it herself or if she took it from somewhere else. But I read the shit, and I'm looking at it, I'm looking at this post, and I'm like, that shit sound mad cryptic and shit. But I don't like that shit. Because people that rock with us can see that shit and misconstrue something. So, I was at the crib. She was out and about. So I hit her up and I said, yo, that joint, that joint you put up on Facebook. Yeah. I really don't like that shit. It could potentially send the wrong message for people that might misinterpret shit. I'm gonna need for you to take that down, babe. And you know what she said? Oh, babe, I'm sorry. I didn't know that it offended you. And I said, no. I said, babe, I'm not offended. I'm just saying. I don't want people to misconstrue shit. Go ahead and take that down. You know what she said? Right away. Right away. And I remember I said that shit in a Facebook group. And there were women who were mad at me. Like, why are you mad? Like, how dare you tell her to do that? She's her own woman. And I'm like, oh, you never been with a man. You never been with a man who has standards and boundaries. Oh, you never been with one of them. Because no, baby girl, look, I'm not saying you meant any harm. I'm just saying the optics. A player don't like that shit. I don't like it. See, I wasn't mean to her. I wasn't aggressive. I even threw babe in there. Take that down, babe. I was polite and pleasant. And she took it down right away. No hesitation. Influence, right? I'm not trying to control her. Now, she could have said no. Joe Blast, player, look, check this out. She could have said no. But guess what? The relationship would have ended that very day over a Facebook post. Y'all be like, man, that's some silly shit. No, it's not. Because if she would have said no, now I got to look at the post. I already thought it was cryptic. Now I got to be looking at it like, did that motherfucker really mean something? Did that motherfucker, are you really trying to say something? Oh, you know what? Bet. Let me go ahead and just cross you on off the list and move you on out the way. So the homie LS with the 5 keep spreading the light to the listeners. I'm trying. And shout out to all my girls in the building. Real quick, the silent betrayal, how women trade relationship loyalty for emotional attention. And again, I'm not saying that all women do this, because I know women, a bunch of women, personally, who feel like anything that goes on in their relationships with their men is between them. They believe they should keep their mouths shut and that their men should also do the same. Whatever's going on between y'all needs to be discussed in-house, right? I'm of the mindset, once you get to talking about shit publicly, you must want the relationship to be over. And that's another thing. For any guy who gets with Cardi B, bruh, I don't see how guys do it. I don't see how guys do it. You cannot be in a relationship or seriously dating a woman even who is constantly posting about what's going on with y'all. You can't have that. Or every time she's mad. You can't have that. You can't have that. And again, ladies, real quick, just shh. If you settle for a nigga, it's okay. The only people that should know should be your close friends and family, people, especially people who understand. Because ladies, I'm not the only man who gets it. I'll tell any lady, hey, I'll tell my daughters, hey, you find a nigga willing to take care of you, hey, do your thing. Now, what my daughters will say is, shit, if I ain't attracted to him, I don't give a damn how much money he got. And I'm like, there you go. There you go. There you go. I got one daughter who got a doctorate degree in biomedical research, and I got another one who about to get one in veterinary medicine. They're like, I'll get my own money so I ain't got to depend on a nigga for that. And I'm like, you have been shown the light, my child. You have been shown the light. All right. So real quick, hold on. Yeah, see, look, let me tell y'all something real quick. See, guys get mad at women, like career women who are getting to the bag, right? Business owners, entrepreneur women. Let me tell you one of the big reasons why women do that. One of the biggest reasons. Okay. Outside of them not depending on a man, right? Because no woman in her right mind really wants to be dependent on an inconsistent man who can't lead for her financial welfare. No woman really wants that. This is why a lot of women, even though they have men taking care of them and paying all the bills, a lot of women refuse to quit. They're like, yeah, you're going to pay all the bills, nigga, but I'm always going to have access to my own bag just in case this shit don't work out, right? So, hold on real quick. One of the biggest perks of a woman having her own money is she get to hand pick the nigga she want to fuck with. I need you guys to understand the power that a woman has with money. And her own shit, she can travel, go wherever she want, drive whatever she want. She can hand pick the niggas she want to fuck with. See, if you go back to the 50s, the 30s, 100, 200 years ago, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. There were a lot of women who, this is going to be your new husband. And she looking at the nigga like, oh, fuck. So you had women who probably watched their mothers and their grandmothers, back in the day, be miserable. And they said, oh, not me. I can't wait for a bitch to get a right to vote. Oh, I can't wait for they say we can go to college with these niggas. I can't wait for we can get high paying jobs alongside these men because I got to pick my own motherfucker. And that's some real shit. That's powerful for a woman. And that's another reason. Yo, look, that's another reason. Low key, why a lot of guys are upset and they talk shit about career women and independent chicks and boss chicks. That's why, because they know that financial security for a woman, if she can secure it for herself, oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro. She can pick. She can be picky. She can be picky as hell. And that's rise of the passport bros. This is why their money doesn't work in America. Guys, if you make $100,000 a year and the chick that you fucking with makes $100,000 a year too, she looking at you like, nigga, I got 100 too. Now what? Now what? Y'all remember that video with Jay-Z? I think Brush Your Shoulder Off. I believe that was a video where a nigga was standing by his car and he thought he was the shit. And there was a Ferrari, and the chick walked up to a Ferrari and got in her shit, and she looked at him like, nigga, my shit better than yours. Now what? And if you're the type of guy where your ego is attached to your money, your status, and your material possessions, that's gonna fuck with you. If your ego is attached to quote unquote being a high value man, as it were, that's gonna fuck with your ego. That women got it too. Her crib is fly as yours. She can go where you go, nigga, by herself. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Because I ain't trying to take care of women like that. So for all you guys that want to do that, do that. We do have a question, though. We do have a question. So he says, Zach, what's your opinion on how some guys are able to be sexually exclusive for decades? What made you feel you could pull it off in past marriages? No. I was never sexually exclusive for decades. Oh, no. I can't do that. Now, I do have the propensity to be sexually exclusive for a long time. Right now, I have been sexually exclusive for some years. Right. I mean, this was years ago. I have, but that was a choice. Right now, it's never been no decades. Like, I'm not a 10, 15, 20-year guy. I cannot have sex with the same woman for 10, 15, 20 years. And I know I can't do that. And any woman I've ever dealt with, I told them, I can't do that. I'm not one of them niggas. I'm not a 10, 15, 20 year. Now, I can be in a relationship where I'm monogamous for stretches at a time, whether it's months at a time or a couple of years at a time, and I'm just fucking her. I can do that, no problem, right? But if you want me to do that shit for like 10 years straight, oh no, baby girl, I can't. That's being, no. I'm just being realistic. But some guys do it because that's what they want to do. But see, here's the thing. This is just my opinion. For a guy to be the type of guy who is sexually exclusive, he can have sex with one woman for the rest of his life and he's absolutely okay with it. In my opinion, for a guy to be that kind of guy and it's genuine, it's not hard for him to do it. It can't be because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. His desire to want to be sexually exclusive, it cannot be motivated by him not wanting to hurt her feelings. And I'm gonna tell you why it can't be motivated by that. It has to be motivated by his strong sense of values. It has to be motivated by his belief system. So whether he get mad at her or not, he won't do it. And he would divorce her first, right? So it has to be that. So if he's being sexually exclusive, mainly motivated because he don't want to hurt her feelings, then what's going to happen is at some point during a relationship or a marriage, if he no longer cares as much about her feelings because his feelings have been hurt, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to cheat in many cases. So that's why even with women, a woman's desire to want to be sexually exclusive, it can't be because you asked her to. That don't work like that. It cannot. This is why I never ask women for sexual exclusivity. I never ask it. I never ask it. I never fucking ask it. Every woman I've gotten into a relationship with, they always came to me and offered it. Offered it. Now, here's my thing. A woman can offer and say, you know, I don't want to have sex with anybody else at this point because of how I'm feeling about you. A woman can say that. That's not going to automatically make me, I can't even talk. Hold on, goddamn. Okay, so a woman telling me she don't want to have sex with nobody else, that's not going to automatically make me say, well, okay, well, I don't want to have sex with anybody else either. No, because I don't feel a sense of obligation. I don't feel obligated to reciprocate that, right? I just don't. Now, hold on real quick. But real quick, let me just get back to your question. For any guy that can pull it off, you know, shout out to them. But again, when it comes to sexual exclusivity, I don't, because if I ask a woman for that, if I request that, what could potentially happen? If a woman doesn't really, listen to me, guys, and this is something that you got to think about. If you ask a woman not to fuck other men, if you ask that of her, if you request that of her, there's a good chance that she could do it reluctantly or begrudgingly, right? And the reason she might agree to it reluctantly is because she likes you, she cares about you, but she's not ready to stop dating other men. So what could happen, because she does want to be in a relationship with you at some point, and maybe you are fucking her good, you're treating her well, the fear of losing access to you altogether could make her reluctantly agree to that. And that's what happens. A lot of these monogamous relationships, a lot of this shit is obligated. Like the people didn't really want to do it. Like, but if I don't agree, I'll lose access to that person. Or if I don't agree, I can't get the relationship that I want with them. And that's the reality of it. And that's the reality of it. All right. So that's why you got to be careful, bro. This is why This is why I say I don't want anything from women. I don't want anything. I don't want anything. Anytime I interact with women, anything they want to give me is because they want me to have it. You want me to have your pussy? Cool. You want me to have access to you non-sexually? You wanna do all this? You want me to have access to you and do all this shit? Cool. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna do it, right? But my point is, it's something that she's offering. I'm not asking for a motherfucking thing, especially sexual exclusivity. I just, in my opinion, guys, do what you want. In my opinion, I just think it's a bad idea. I just think it's a bad, to me, it just makes more sense if a woman offers it. Now, just because a woman offers it doesn't mean she means it though. So you can't get caught up with that either. Just because she's coming to you and she's telling you, I don't want to fuck any other guys, that don't mean she ain't lying. So here's my thing. This is what I would tell guys, for all you monogamous guys. Now, let me just say this about monogamy. It ain't for me. I did it for a while. I tried the cohabitation thing. I was married, all that shit. I tried that shit. It was fun while it lasted. I've had some very memorable, enjoyable memories that I'm always going to cherish. But all of that shit is in my review. But for all you motherfuckers that's endeavoring to go down the road of marriage, monogamous relationships, do you have at it? Have fun, right? But understand, when you agree to get into a monogamous or sexually exclusive relationship, you're flipping a coin. You're literally flipping a coin, right? Because there's a 50-50 chance that somebody or both people can be cheating. It's a 50-50 chance that at least one or maybe both people are going to be cheating. And I say that, and I'm not being pessimistic. If you look at all the complaining online, just look at it. All the complaining online, a lot of people have been cheated on. I personally know women. Guys, do y'all know how many women I know where all of them have been cheated on? Do you know how many women I know personally where they have been cheated on by every boyfriend? And I know a lot of guys. A lot of them been cheated on. I know a lot of people who have been, now me personally, I don't know if I've been cheated on. I don't know if I have. Now I have my suspicions after the fact. Like, I think something could, I don't know. But while I was actively in a relationship, to my knowledge, I don't know if a chick ever cheated or not. I don't know. So I don't know what that feels like. Guys, I don't feel your pain. I don't know what that feels like. Right? Right. But now that I'm no longer doing monogamy, I never have to find out. Like, look, shout out to 50. Just winning there. I was able to navigate the monogamous dating scene and walked away unscathed. Just ducked out of that shit. Like, oh, I didn't get hit with that one. I got hit with a couple other goofy shit, but I dodged that one. But here's the thing, though. For all the people that's doing the monogamy thing, just understand that it's a possibility that that person could creep. See, here's my thing real quick. Okay, this has always been my issue with being cheated on, right? This has been my only issue, right? Because I'm not emotional like that. And I'm not sentimental over a woman's box. Because here's the thing. When you first meet women and you guys are dealing with each other casually, oftentimes they're having sex with other guys anyway. So you're sharing her, just like she's sharing you. So, and this is just my personal opinion. Y'all don't have to agree with it. So when a woman cheats, all she did physically, when you talk about the physical act of having sex, all she did was do the shit she did in the beginning. She had sex with another nigga. So from the physical aspect of having sex, that's all she really did, which is why I'm not emotional about it. The reason why guys are emotional about women cheating, because somewhere along the line, you got very emotional about her. And part of your emotional attachment is tied to the sexual validation that you're getting from her. That's why guys are emotional when women cheat. See, for me, what I would be pissed at if a woman ever cheated on me, assuming I was in a monogamous relationship, hypothetically speaking, what would make me mad? It wouldn't be the emotional shit. Because I wouldn't be all heartbroken crying about that shit. What would make me fucking mad is, wait a minute. I've been having sex with you all these years with no condom on. I've been putting my face all in your shit, putting my tongue all in your shit. and you fucking other niggas? And you lied to me about that shit? So to me, I'm more offended at the fact that you disrespectful bitch, right? Because to me, I'm looking at it like as you put my sexual health at risk with this shit that you're doing. The last thing I'm thinking about is, oh my God, you let another man touch you. No. Now I'm like, bitch, because here, look, and I don't want to get graphic. I've heard stories. I had a chick I was dating, and I'm not gonna tell the story. I'm just gonna kind of tiptoe around it. I had a chick I was dating tell me a story about this chick that she personally knew who, some of these chicks are nasty, right? And she was in a relationship with this guy, and she was mad at him. She was mad at him, right? So she wanted to make him pay, right? So, let me not, I don't want to get into the story, right? There's women, there are some women, not all. This is not all women. This is some, I think this is a small group of women. Ladies, I'm gonna give y'all the benefit of the motherfucking doubt. I really want to believe it's only a small group of women who are this treacherous, where they will have unprotected sex, let another dude shoot up the club, and then have you come right behind it. And put your face all in that shit. Look, hey. So, see, that's the shit that I would be thinking about, right? Would be that shit. And if you have kids with the chick and she cheated on you, that would be the shit that would fuck with a nigga. Like, now, let me just say this. To avoid that, get paternity testing. Guys, get paternity testing. Even if it's your wife, right? Because I hear guys all the time say it needs to be mandatory, right? And I agree, it needs to be mandatory, but it's unlikely they're gonna do that, right? And there's a reason why. It's unlikely that they're gonna make it mandatory because this is what people know. If people were really honest, they know that there's a lot of paternity fraud going on. And if they made it mandatory, it would unearth and uncover just how widespread it is. And there's a lot of niggas raising kids that aren't theirs, right? Bro, I know people. I personally know people where they almost got caught up like that, but they got a paternity test. And they was like, ooh, the bitch almost got me. And it was to the point where the family was already buying the baby shit. The family was buying the baby shit. And then they would ask the guy, man, you sure that baby's yours? Man, she wouldn't cheat on me, man. That baby's mine. And then somebody got to him, say, bruh, get the test, bruh, get the test. And then he did it and found out, right? So, but my point is, while it should be mandatory, the reason why a lot of guys really want it to be mandatory, because you motherfuckers are scared. And you're scared to tell your woman to her face, yo, I'm gonna need you to get that test. Because you know, or you feel like that's gonna enrage her. She's gonna be offended if you do that. And my question, bro, do you wanna be raising a kid that you love dearly and that kid love you dearly, and 15, 16 years into that kid's life, you realize that kid ain't yours, bro? Do you want to go through that pain and that heartache and watch that kid go through the same thing? Get that motherfucking test. So you can avoid that shit. Get that motherfucking test. Get that motherfucking test. I know my kids are my kids. Shit. I got paternity test. Hey, yeah, they look like me. Yeah, they got a little attitude like me. But when I saw that test, I'm like, everything makes sense now. It's been confirmed. There's proof. My blood flows through their veins. That's important to a motherfucker, right? So I'm just saying, see, that would be the shit. The cheating shit, see, you can just easily break up with a chick. All right, she cheated on you. Right? If you don't have kids, assuming you don't have kids, that's an easy breakup to me. All right, bitch, you're gone. When you have kids together and they might not be yours, truth is, if you're married when a child is born, you are legally required to pay for that child unless the real father chooses. Yeah. And that's true. Look, I think in Tennessee, I want to say Tennessee or Kentucky. One of those, it's true though, yeah, Jay Below. In Tennessee or Kentucky, one of those states, there's a viral video from years ago where a guy was in court and he had proof. And Jillian, I don't know if he was married to the chick though. But regardless, he had proof that the kid wasn't his. But he went to a paternity test. No. He went to a paternity test outside the court, and then they said, no, you got to get a court-ordered one. So then he got a court-ordered one, and that proved that he wasn't the child's father. So when he was before the judge, he was like, yo, you gonna take me off child support? And the judge berated him. How dare you ask that? How dare you leave that child out in the cold? You need to take care of that child like you've been doing. But Your Honor, that child ain't my child. So what? That child went off, that judge went off on him. And I was like, God damn. So, guys, but Jillian, this is what I'm saying. If you guys are running up in chicks raw, bro, you get what you get. 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 Guys, when you're running up in chicks raw, you get what you get. Real quick, let me say this real quick. Speaking about emotional attention, let me say, because I want guys to understand. And again, this is not all women. I want to show you when women are emotionally out of balance. And listen to what I'm telling you. When women are emotionally out of balance, meaning their wants, needs, and desires are not being fulfilled. See, when a woman is with a man she is sexually attracted to, and they actually are compatible, once they actually do have sex, and they are compatible, and they are non-sexually compatible. When they're compatible all across the board, they have a great sex life and they have a great non-sexual life together. They're getting those needs and wants met. Yeah, every now and again, they're going to be a little insecure and a little emotional. They're women. But for the most part, they're getting those needs met. But when women reluctantly, and I'm about to show you something, how detrimental it is, not only to you, but to the woman and to any child involved. When as a man, if you don't pay attention to shit, when a woman reluctantly goes along with whatever it is you're doing, like if you want just a sexual relationship, but she wants more, if she reluctantly goes with that, that can be a problem. Also, if you get into a relationship with her and you tell her, no, I want an open relationship, and she reluctantly gets into an open relationship with you, bro, I have clients where the woman or the women have told them, I really don't want to do this, but I guess since this is what you want to do, I mean, maybe in time you'll grow out of this. Now, what I just said, if a woman is telling you, I really don't want to do this, but I guess I'll do it, maybe in time you'll grow out of this, wanting to do this open relationship, do you think it's wise to get into a relationship with that chick? Do you think it's wise? No! Hell no! But that's, hey, to the individual that told me that story, I gotta tell it because I gotta break this down. I want guys to understand what happens when women, because not only do women settle for a man, but a woman can also settle for the right man, but the wrong relationship dynamic. Okay, let me say that shit again. Not only can a woman settle for the wrong man altogether, but a woman can also settle for the right man. She got the man that she want, but it's the wrong relationship dynamic. She don't like that relationship dynamic. She want the guy, she just wants the monogamous shit. Or she might want a poly situation, but she don't. So either way, it's the wrong relationship. Right guy, wrong relationship dynamic. When women do that, and this is where leadership comes in at, because women are just following, again, they're like, you know what, I can't get all I want right now, but I'll take what I can get now, and I'll try and get the rest later from the guy. I'll try and get it later. And what they might do is just tell you, I want this. I want you to stop fucking other chicks. And they either suggest it or request it. And if they don't get it that way, what they might do is start to manipulate you for it. So sometimes they'll just outright tell you, I don't want you to do this. I want that. Other times, they'll just outright start manipulating you for it. Okay, and that's where shit can get a little dark and a little fucked up, right? And I'm not saying all women, but I want guys to understand that, right? Because I don't want guys, oh man, all women are horrible. No, I'm specifically talking about women who really didn't want to fuck with you to begin with, like that, especially if they were never sexually attracted to you. Which brings me to this. I would be remiss if I don't say this. PUA tactics. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. PUA tactics will get you in relationships and marriages with women who move like Jada and Ayesha. Remember I said that. PUA tactics will get you in relationships or marriages where you're dealing with women who behave like Jada and Ayesha. Right? So let me get back to my point. So this individual, right, he wants an open relationship. He got a couple chicks on deck, right? So this one woman reluctantly agrees to get into the open relationship with him. Reluctantly. Now, and this is something that she did. Okay, guys, I'm telling you, when women are emotionally out of balance because they're settling for the guy or the situation, you're going to catch hell. Every time. There is no sometimes. You're going to catch hell. Sometimes you'll just catch hell in your home. Other times, the woman will outwardly project her dissatisfaction, like Ayesha is doing, right? Or what's that girl name? Jada. Now, peep what I'm saying. So what the woman did when the other guy, because he's dealing with multiple women, right? And he's trying to set up situations where the women are meeting each other. And I told him, no, not a good idea. Let me tell you, guys, let me tell you why it's never a good idea to let women meet. When you're dating multiple women, listen to what I'm telling you. I'm giving y'all way too much, right? Way too much. And I don't know why I don't see no fucking donation. I'm giving y'all way too fucking much. All right. I'm debating now. I'm debating. Hold on, let me think about some shit. Hold on. I'm debating like a motherfucker. But for the people that did donate, I appreciate y'all, no doubt. And I appreciate all y'all watching. But let me go ahead and say this, right? Well, let me just tell the story, right? Let me get back to the story, right? So what she did was, when he was trying to set up the situation with the other chicks, she would sabotage it. She would sabotage it. And of course, she's going to sabotage meeting the other girl. Why? Because she doesn't want to be in an open relationship with you to begin with. And she told you that. See, here's the thing with women, man. And shout out to her. And she was honest with him. I need you guys to understand. She was forthright and she was straight up with him about what she wanted, because she didn't want to do it. Right? Now, he was a fool to take her on, and she was a fool to go through with it. Both of them allowed their emotions to take them in a relationship that never should have happened, right? But if a woman is reluctant to share you, why would she want to meet the women that she's sharing with you? Think about that. It makes no logical sense why she would want to do that. All right. So hold on real quick. Let me get this. So he says, and shout out with the 5. I see what you mean. Those PUA tactics to get the women isn't derived from something real. So because she settled, her true self has been revealed. Yes. But guess what? Will Smith already saw the true Jada behind the scenes before the public saw it. Steph Curry saw the real Ayesha behind the scenes. You don't think those guys already knew that those women were emotionally unsettled? Guys, when women are not happy, when their needs, wants, and desires, all 3 of them shits, aren't being fulfilled by the guy that they really want, and they are emotionally unsettled, the guy that they're actually with, he gonna know it. He gonna know it every fucking day. Y'all remember, proof. There was a viral video where Jada was filming Will against his will, which is funny. She was filming him against his will. And he was like, man, stop filming me. And let me tell you why she was doing that. Let me tell you why. When women are in a relationship with men that they might not respect all that much, there's a sense of disdain. So those women are always going to feel like, oh, you're going to listen to me. When I vent, oh, you're going to listen to all of this shit. When I want to talk about something and I want my fucking emotions to be serviced, that's what you're here for. That's why I married you. I didn't marry you just because you got all this money. I married you so you can be here for everything I need you to be here for. Everything. Right? So when she wanted to talk about her feelings and he didn't, he got mad and she put him on camera. And shout out to Paul Pierce, because he called it. She hijacked his emotions. He didn't want to participate in her emotional tirade, right? Or her emotional validation seeking. He's like, I don't want to talk about that shit. So she said, no, you're going to. She made the nigga participate. You see what I'm saying? But when you deal with women that really didn't want you like that, what do you expect? What do you expect? Shout out, Dillian. You keep talking. These guys need this. Okay. So let me get back to my point. So, and real quick, I got to get back to the young lady. Shout out there. Because she told the truth. She told him, I don't like this. And she reluctantly agreed to go do it. Anytime a woman is reluctant about anything, you need to immediately cease and desist trying to get her to do it. Whatever that is. Listen to what I'm telling you. Whatever that is. If a woman is reluctant about doing anything, whatever it is you're trying to get her to do, stop. Stop it right now. Whether it be trying to offer a date, trying to get her to have sex with you, trying to get her to date you, trying to get her to agree to be in a relationship that she don't want to be in, trying to get her to spend the night, whatever it is you're trying to, don't do it. Because if she agrees reluctantly, bro, she's going to make you pay every time. Right? So let me get back to the story. So, look, game saves lives. Let me show you how game saves lives. Okay, I'm gonna show you how game saves lives, and also how the lack of game impacts your life, her life, if you have a child or children, their life, the extended family, your family who wants to have a relationship with that child, the other family, everybody's impacted by these two motherfuckers making goofy decisions because your emotions are involved, right? So boom. So she don't want to do it. So she ends up pregnant. Guys, getting a woman pregnant, okay, and I'm guilty of this. So I'm telling you, I know firsthand, getting a woman pregnant during turbulent times is a bad idea. It is a horrible idea. Getting a woman pregnant during turbulent times. Now, here's the thing. If you get a woman pregnant during turbulent times, you better hope you got some influence. You better hope. I'm going to tell you how or what happens when you get a woman pregnant during turbulent times because she reluctantly agreed to do something and the baby's involved, right? So she gets pregnant, and I hope you listen to this, the young man that told me this story, right? So she gets pregnant. He tries to introduce him to the other chick, and everything blows up. Everything blows up. So the chick with the baby bounces, leaves, blocks him on the phone, basically tell him, the baby and I don't need you. You're blocked. You're done. She didn't put the nigga on child support or nothing. She said, you're done. I don't want nothing. The baby ain't gonna see you no more. We don't want your money. It's over for you. Right? I think the baby is like, I don't know, a year or 2 years old. I want to say 2. And he loved that baby. Guys, listen to me. When are you guys gonna learn? Now she's dead wrong. Don't get it twisted. She's dead wrong. She's horrible for that. But when it comes to a woman's emotions, this is what guys got to understand. Women don't think they're wrong. I need guys to really understand that. They don't think they're wrong. They blame you. It's your fault. It's your fault you made me fall in love with you. It's your fault you didn't stop seeing those other girls. It's your fault you got me pregnant and didn't want to give me the family I wanted, where it's just us three. You had to keep fucking with them bitches. It's your fault you tried to introduce me to that chick and shit blew up. It's your fault. I'm hurt, I'm confused, I'm all of this, and it's all your fault. Regardless whether you agree with it or not as a man, that's how the women feel, which is why, and she's lashing out. Her thing is, because I feel so fucked up. Now, it's on her because she still made the decision to fuck with him. Just like Jada did, just like Ayesha did. They still made these choices. But the problem is, the women in their mind, they're still like, this is your fault, I'm miserable. Just like, what's that girl name? Cassie. Cassie, it's your fault I'm miserable. If you look at all of these different cases, every single scenario, everyone is a scenario where women reluctantly agreed to do something the man wanted to do. Every scenario, all those scenarios with those couples or those people, all of them have that in common. The woman reluctantly agreed to do something, or she reluctantly agreed to the dynamic of the interaction, which is why, guys, you have to deal with women strictly on your terms, and it has to be women that are 100% on board with it. Now, it's okay if a woman wants more. Like, let's say you're having sex with a woman for a while and she wants more. She begins to like you a little bit more than maybe she thought she would, and she wants more. There's nothing wrong with her wanting more. This is what you cannot have, though. Okay? There's nothing wrong with her wanting more. What you cannot have is her trying to manipulate you for it, right? Unless the only lone exception is the clever manipulation, right? The clever, where you benefit and she benefits, where she might say, hey, have you eaten? You say, no. Why do you ask? She says, hey, I know you like to watch football on Sundays. There's a sports bar that's dope. It has all these TV, da, da, da. How about we go there on my dime? I got you, right? Let's say she does something like that, right? If a woman does something like that, that's her cleverly manipulating you. She wants non-sexual time. She wants some time with you where she just ain't fucking you all the time. So she says, you know what? Instead of asking this man to spend money on me, because that would be mad disrespectful for me to do that, and I would never do that with a man I really like and respect because he hasn't offered it. So let me not ask. So what I'll do is I'll offer. I'll offer to pay and we'll see what happens. Maybe the relationship will blossom, maybe it won't, but I'm willing to try because I like him so much, right? So, ladies, that's some free game for you right there. Now, so if the guy agrees, she's like, it worked. I was clever. I got him to spend non-sexual time with me. And he benefits. He gets to eat on my dime and watch his beloved football. Ladies, job well done for the ladies who do that shit. Now, what you don't want a woman to do is manipulate you in a deceitful way to try and get non-sexual time and attention with you. You don't want that, right? But it's okay if she wants that. It's okay. All right? Y'all understand that? It's okay. Right now. So let me get back to my point. Right or wrong, when you deal with women where they settled for you or they settled for the dynamic of the type of relationship that you're choosing, you're always going to have problems 100% of the time. Now, not all of your problems are going to lead to women publicly talking shit about you. Not all your problems are going to lead to women trying to manipulate you. What some women will do is they'll just tell you, hey, I don't like this shit. If you want me here, I got to have it like this. And they'll just make the request. And if they don't get what they want, they'll just leave you alone. They won't bother you. They'll be like, you know what? Right. And I've heard women say that. If they're fucking a guy for a while, even if they like the dick, if they're starting to fall for the guy and they're trying to get the guy to take him a little more seriously, but the guy won't give them that, women will be like, all right, peace, I'm out. And the reason why women will do that is because they're trying to protect their feelings. It's because they realize I'm falling for this guy a little bit more than I thought I would. I want him to date me, but clearly he doesn't view me the same way. I mean, I can keep fucking him and keep getting this great dick from him. But the problem is, the more that I'm around him, I'm going to fall even deeper for this motherfucker. Then it's going to get unbearable where I'm going to start tripping with him. So I won't do no goofy shit and embarrass myself and have this man enraged at me. Let me just gracefully bow out, which there are women out there like that who are sensible. So for all my mature women who move like that, because I've met women like that, who said, Carrie, I can't do this. Carrie, I can't do this. And I'm like, cool, bet. And let me just say this, guys. When a woman wants to gracefully bow out and walk away, don't try to convince her to stay. Be like, all right, well, look, I wish you well. I truly hope you get what you're looking for. And I've told women that. I truly hope, and I sincerely mean that shit. If you're looking for a husband, baby girl, I hope you find him. Right? Y'all remember real quick. I told a story a couple years back. I was in a relationship with this woman. In fact, she was living with me in my house. And she wanted to get married. And I told her, I said, look, I'm not going to marry you. I will never marry you. And I told her to her face, I said, if being a wife is that important to you, you're free to go find your husband. So this is my girlfriend. This is my girlfriend. I'm telling my girlfriend, if being married to you is that important, you're free to go find your husband. Go find him. Right? Because I don't believe in keeping women around me who want something that I can't or won't give them. So if I can't or won't give it to you and you're asking me for it, I'm going to tell you to your face, you're not going to get that. And if you think you can get it elsewhere, then, hey, baby girl, go get that. No harm, no foul. So when I told her that, she didn't leave. She stayed. She didn't go nowhere, but she never brought it up again. She never brought up being married ever again. She accepted the fact that, no, you're just going to be a live-in girlfriend. That's it. Now, eventually I broke up with her, right? But my point is, when you're dealing with women, they have to go along with your plan 100%. You can't have, because if it would have been a situation where she kept trying to badger me for it, I would have been like, you got to go, right? But what some guys would do is they will give women the misleading impression that marriage is possible. Oh, girl, money ain't right now. The timing is wrong. And when you do that, you give women hope. So if you know for a fact she'll never be your wife, bro, just tell her you're never going to be that. You're never going to be that. And real quick, and shout out to the homie, Mr. Lucario and Miles Cunningham. They did a live stream earlier. And they were talking about, casual sex encounters and fuck buddy scenarios, right? Where if a woman is having a great sexual experience with you, although you're not willing to give her more, in many cases, if that sexual experience is so great, many women will just shut the fuck up and take it. Like, all right, fuck it, right? And I said something in the comments, and we're going to talk about this on Saturday. So hopefully the homie Lacario will jump on a live stream. On the Manhood is a Skill Set show on Saturday, we're going to talk about how when you have great pipe game, right? And it's not even just about your dick. Okay, I want to be clear. When you're just a great lover overall, whether it's your tongue, your fingers, how you talk to women, your pipe game, everything. When you're exceptional, let me put it another way, because there are some guys who are mediocre, average, or slightly above average. Like, he's good, he's all right. But if you are exceptional in the bedroom, that's actually leverage with women. Okay, I don't think guys understand that. And I'm gonna leave it there. Now, and this is assuming You have leadership qualities, and you're assertive, and you actually know how to lead. If you're great at what you do, that's actually leverage to kind of keep shit straight. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. And Jillian says, don't keep her on a string. The truth hurts. Yeah, here's the thing, and that's the worst thing, right? When a woman is becoming emotionally invested, and you can see that she's becoming emotionally invested, and you don't share those same feelings. Now, it's one thing, guys, I want to be clear. It's one thing if you don't share those same feelings, but the door isn't completely closed on the possibility of you dating her seriously. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. Okay. So and this is what I mean. I've had women who I met who early on told me they were catching feelings. And although I wasn't ready to date them seriously, I wasn't ready to do anything but sex, I already identified some traits and qualities that made me say, she got potential. I got to look out for her. There might be a woman I might have to take seriously, right? So if she's telling me that she's catching feelings, as long as I can manage that, and as long as she's going to play her position, she can stay. She just has to understand that we're going to move at my pace. Because I've already identified that, hey, she got potential. So the fact that she's, catching feelings and she's letting me know, that's cool. Because chances are, if she play her cards right, there's going to be a good chance that an emotional bond or connection will form. You know what I'm saying? So in those instances, it's not that big of a deal. But if you know, to Jillian's point, if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I would never make this woman my girlfriend. I would never introduce her to my family. If you know you would never have her around you that seriously, bro, you can't give her hope, man. You can't. Because then the emotions are going to happen. And here's the thing, and I said this before. Women will feel like you took something from them, whether it's right or wrong. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. And a lot of guys don't get caught up in whether women are right or wrong. It just is. When it comes to women, this is why when guys talk about women having accountability, with women, it's not about them being right or wrong. It just is. This is how I feel. With women, how they feel is how they feel. Whether they're right or wrong, how they feel is how, and let me just say this real quick. And women, I hate to say this, but this is true. When women are feeling emotional, guys, listen to me. When women are feeling emotional, nobody else's feelings on the face of the planet matters but theirs. When they are having an emotional moment, when they are having an emotional crisis, nobody's, their kids, nobody's. Even if God is calling, like, God, hold on, I'm going through something, God. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. Nobody else matters in the world but them when they are going through their emotional, whatever it is. Whatever it is. This is why they don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. Although there definitely is in many cases, they don't see it that way, though. They don't see it that way. Like, real quick, let me get back to my point. In the beginning, I told you guys a story of how a chick was telling my mom about, our relationship, crying and whining about what I was doing. And my mama told me, son, she weak. You need to date stronger women. And that's something that my mama told me. Shout out to my mama. She said, son, she's weak. She's weak for calling me and complaining. You need to date stronger women. That's something that my mama told me, right? So the next chick that I got into a relationship with after that, I told her, don't be, crying on my mama's shoulder. The last chick that did that, she ain't here no more. Don't do that shit, right? Do y'all think she listened? Do y'all think she listened to me? No, the bitch didn't listen. She got comfortable. Joe Bland, she got comfortable, Joe. She got comfortable, Joe. And she went to Ma Dukes. And Ma Dukes called me up and said, son, didn't I tell you about these weak bitches? And I'm like, Mom, not another one. I swear to God, no joke. I was like, Mom, not another one. That bitch called you too? So when she came home, because she was living with me, right? When she came to the crib, I said, yo, let me see your keys real quick. And she gave me her keys, and I took the mailbox key off that joint. I took the house key off that joint. I took the garage key off that joint. Gave her keys back. And I said, you got to the end of the week to pack your shit. You got to go. She was like, what did I do? What did I do? You call my mama. Didn't I tell you not to do that shit? I didn't think it was that serious to you. I was just going through some things. I was trying to save our relationship. Bitch, didn't I tell you not to go to my mama? Carrie, you got to go. You got to the end of the week. You lucky I don't kick your ass out now. You got to the end of the week. She had a brother. I don't want to go stay with my brother. Go stay in a hotel. You got to the end of the week. I don't play. Ladies, I know it sound mean, don't it? It sound mean. It sound mean. I know. I know it does. But your boy got standards, and I got boundaries. See, ladies, when y'all meet these guys and they call themselves having boundaries, girl, that's like finish line tape. Those guys' boundaries, that's like finish line tape. You know when you're running in the Olympics or a race and you cross the finish line, that little tape break real easily and shit? That's their boundaries. That's their boundaries. My boundaries is a cement slab about 100 feet deep and 100 feet wide. Those are my boundaries. You ain't getting through that. You ain't getting through that. My shit is not ticker tape. No, you're not getting, no, their shit is that. No, I got boundaries. Look, Joe Blast. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why she had to go. And this is dangerous. Okay, I want guys to understand how dangerous this is. Ladies, I'm gonna show you how dangerous this is. When a woman is going to other people outside of the relationship, and this is for men too. Guys, let me talk to both of y'all. Because there are some of you guys where you would complain to your woman, to your mom, or to other women. Let me just say this. I never complained about any woman I was dating to my mother. Or anybody. My brothers or any. Guys, I keep my shit private. I don't complain to. Real quick. I'm going to show you how real I am with how private I am. There have been times where a relationship has ended with me and a chick. And somebody will hit me up and be like, yo, Carrie, we having this gathering going on. Why don't you come by and bring such and such? And I'm like, oh, dog, I'm going to be solo. I'm going to be by myself. Oh, what happened to old girl? What's up? She ain't coming? She working something? Well, nah, the relationship is over, dog. Or the marriage is over. Dog, what happened? Oh, you ain't tell nobody about it. No, no, not really. And a couple of months didn't pass. And I ain't told nobody. You know what I'm saying? Or there's some people who know because they need to know, but there's other people in my circle, they don't know. Because I don't be talking about shit. Because I'm the type of guy, if I'm going to talk about something, it's going to be after the relationship is over. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm not saying nothing while the relationship is ongoing. If you say something negative about the person you're with, to your friends, your peoples, your mom, your father, whoever, and let's say before you told them that shit, they actually liked your significant other, and then you telling them that you running your mouth and you tell them some shit that makes your family members not like them anymore, now you caused a very uncomfortable situation for everybody. Now your family members got to be fake, all because of you. And now your man or your woman, for you guys that do the same thing, now they got to go endure, like, people acting funny. What the fuck is going on? All because of you running your mouth, right? And so my thing is, if you're going to say negative shit, wait until the relationship is over. If you got to talk about that shit that bad, wait until you know for a fact that the relationship is over. Like, even if you break up, if you think there's a chance y'all might get back together, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. If there's a chance y'all might work that shit out, shut the fuck up. And if y'all work it out, cool. If you don't, then do what you do, right? But me, there's no way I'm gonna say something bad about my significant other and then have them around my peoples and my people acting funny. And then my girl like, man, what's going on? Just the other day, your mom was hugging me. Now she ice grilling me. Then I gotta pull my mama to the side. Mama, why you treating her like that? It ain't my fault that you told me that shit about her. I can't look at her the same. Come on, guys, what are y'all doing? This is why this Ayesha, Carey, and Jada, all this shit is connected to people talking too much. You talk too much. You talk too much. And here's the thing, this is where it gets serious. If you have people that are sharing intimate details of your relationship, of what's going on behind closed doors, publicly with other people, you know what that means? You can't even talk to them no more. You can't be your authentic, true self. You can't speak freely. Now you got to watch your words because they might go run tell that. What kind of relationship is that? Well, you got to watch what you say. This bitch might go online at one of these forums and say something. She might say she saw me crying. She might say you're breaking my heart. I can't even tell her. You breaking my heart with this shit. She might go and tell people I said that shit. I'm looking like a sucker. Y'all don't think Steph? Y'all don't think his teammates at Golden State? Y'all don't think someone, Draymond Green, let's put him to the side? Say, bro, hey, look, your marriage is your business, Steph, but dog, get your girl, dog. Dog, that's y'all business. I'm not trying to tell you, but that's dog. She need to chill, dog. She can't be talking about some of that shit publicly like that. Because what Ayesha don't understand is she's getting the emotional validation that she wants. She's getting something out of talking about all her feelings. She's getting something out of it, right? And she's getting allies. She's getting people to side with her and say, girl, yeah, girl, tell your story, girl. Tell your truth, girl. Yeah, it could be hard on us women, right? Tell your truth, right? But what she don't understand is that while you're getting people allying around you, making you feel better, you're causing your man emotional distress at the same goddamn time. You're causing your man emotional distress at the same goddamn time. And that's fucked up. And that's extremely selfish, right? Let me make sure I ain't got no other questions and shit. Let me make sure I ain't got no other questions. I think I might have saw a question. Guys, but real quick, I'm about to get off this live stream. I got shit I gotta do. Plus, I'm hungry as shit. Hungry as shit. I think I'm gonna go I'm gonna go outside and meet a chick and then tell her to cash at me because I'm hungry and shit. Hey girl, I'm gonna give you my number. Cash at me like $15. There's a McDonald's right there. I'm trying to get that basket of fries and I'm trying to get like 2 hot and spicy chickens, light mayo, a whole bunch of lettuce. Right? Anyway, no. I see a question right there. So he says, how long should you vet a woman for marriage? I'll just say me personally, I'm not gonna, me personally, right? My first wife, I dated her for 5 years. For 5 years. But here's the problem. Okay, here's the problem with the time in and of itself. The time that you vet women doesn't matter if you're not dealing with a woman on your terms. You can vet her for 10 years, it don't matter. Right? It doesn't matter, right? So you can vet a woman. Okay, so let me back up. So to your point, or answering your question, I dated her for 5 years. Okay, I need you to understand what I'm about to say. I'm gonna show you how time really don't matter. It does, but it doesn't. I dated her, or we were in a relationship for 5 years rather, until I married her. But the marriage only lasted a year. There you have it. She was my girlfriend for 5 years, but the marriage lasted a little over a year, about a year and a half. about a year and a half, and it was over. Okay, and the reason why it was over is because I made mistakes. So although I vetted her for a decent amount of time, I made mistakes along the way. You know what I'm saying? I made mistakes. And here's the thing. Let me tell you one of the biggest mistakes I made. One of the biggest mistakes. And there was a couple mistakes I made, but one of the biggest mistakes I made was when we first met. See, I didn't. So someone came to me, right? And they told me, hey, bro, hey, it's this girl that's interested in you, right? So someone came to me and told me about her. Like, it's this girl that, she's been asking about you, right? So, when I met her, it was on the strength of, oh, really? Show me what she looked like. Show me who she is. So when I saw her, I'm like, oh, bet. Yeah, let me go get that, right? So when I first met her, bro, guys, I'm gonna show you how your emotions betray you. I'm gonna show you how my emotions betray me. I'm gonna show you how shit got flipped. I'm gonna show you how shit got flipped, and how that proved to be there was there was the other things that occurred, but this was one of the main things, right? So when we first met, she was on me, bro. She would bring me lunch. She changed the way she dressed. I didn't ask. Like, she was one of those country girls, right? Wranglers, cowboy boots, hair up, ponytail. She was one of them chicks when I first met her, but she was thick though, right? So I'm like, I like that. But almost as soon as I started fucking her, almost as soon, bro, look, I'm not being facetious when I say this, right? Because again, when I saw her, and the first couple of times, or the first time I saw her, rather, she had on, the cowgirl shit. But right after she got this pipe game, bro, the femininity came oozing out of her. The very next time, look, I'm telling you the truth. The very next day, in fact, was it the next day? Maybe it was the same week. I saw her after we had sex for the first time. Bro, she had on high heels, a dress, and she had her hair done. I'm like, you don't even look like the same chick. The femininity came oozing out of her. It came oozing. She's like, ooh, fuck them cowboy boots, them jeans, and all that cowgirl shit. Her wardrobe, and she started wearing dresses here, like, for a while after that. Dresses, heels, and her hair down. I'm like, gotta love it. Gotta love it. The power of masculine pipe. I said it. The power of masculine pipe. She's like, oh. See, when women say, I want to feel like a woman when I'm with a man, that's exactly what she felt. She said, I'm putting on a dress tomorrow. Oh, this nigga, he fucked the boy shorts off me. I'm wearing a thong tomorrow to work. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Shit. And I'm not being facetious. I'm not joking. I'm telling y'all the truth. I swear to God, this shit happened. Right? But this is where I fucked up. Again, she was all on me. She was head over heels. But guys, I got caught up. Oh my God, I've never been so in love. God, you fucking me. I can't take it. I can't take this dick. I don't think I can live if I didn't have this dick. Right? All of that shit that I tell y'all, don't listen to none of that shit. I'm telling y'all for a reason. Your ego, it will fuck with you. I had a chick that was on me. She was on me. Shout out to Lucario. High interest. Look, this is what I did. I turned a high interest girlfriend into a medium interest wife. Because shit got flipped. My little emotions got in the way. And it flipped. She went from looking up at me like, Carrie, you can do no wrong, to, who is this nigga? What happened to my man? Now, I didn't get that bad. I didn't get that bad. But there was inconsistencies in how I was moving There was Joe, there was inconsistencies in how I was moving, because you know what? I wonder where it turned at. Hold on. I'm debating on whether or not I should say this. I think I know where it turned. Oh, should I say it? Oh, hold on. I'm gonna keep that to myself. Fuck that. I'm gonna keep that to myself. But anyway, it turned. It flipped, right? So then what started happening, because she never challenged me before. But when it flipped, it was almost like I was in love and shit, right? It was almost like that. Not quite, because I still had, like, the real Carrie was in there. He was in there. He was still in there. You know what I'm saying? Still checking the bitch, right? But he wasn't, the Hulk, right? This is a perfect example. The Hulk, right? You know how before they made the Hulk look more human-like, which I hated that shit. When they made him look more human-like, right? That's how I was. I was the human Hulk side. Instead of the Hulk. See, remember the Hulk was kind of uncontrollable when he would turn. The Avengers didn't know whether or not he would trip. See, I went from that Hulk to the other motherfucker. To the nice motherfucker eating tacos, wearing clothes, signing autographs. I went to that motherfucking Hulk. Right? And it fucked her up. And then when I tried to turn back to the other Hulk, she was like, "Too late, nigga. You showed me that weak shit. It was too late. I fucked my own shit up." You know what I'm saying? That's why we tell you guys. Consistency. Well, Frankie, yeah, I wouldn't say I went completely passive, but I had my passive moments, though. Because I still had bitch, you lost your mind? I still had all that shit going on, too. But it was one too many passive times, though. It was one too many passive times. Like Frankie Shire, there was one time when she wanted me to open the car door. Like, I was already sitting in the car, and she was standing outside the car. And she wanted me to get out the car and come open her door. And I'm like, I ain't doing that shit. And she refused to get into the car. So Frankie Shy, I drove off and left her there. And I didn't come back. I think her sister or somebody came and got her. I drove the bitch and left her there. So that Carrie was still there. But he wasn't there enough. He wasn't there enough. Because she forgot who the fuck I was. And I forgot who the fuck I was. See, she forgot who the fuck I was because I forgot who the fuck I was. Right? But when women forget who the fuck you are, that other side can come back out. It's too late. You've already corrupted the situation. You've already corrupted it. It's kind of like when you get a virus on your computer. There are some viruses where your computer will just never be the same again. Yeah, it still works, but it's always a little glitchy, always a little slower, and you can't just get it 100% right. Exactly how a relationship happens. It can never get back right. Yeah, you're going to have your moments where things are straight, but because of that one thing or this thing, because you slipped as a man, you slipped emotionally. You slipped. Bro, you can't slip emotionally with women. You can't. Because once you do that, it's like you can't go back. It's like opening Pandora's box. So let me see if we got any more questions before I break out on y'all and shit. Is that a question right there? Oh, right there. All right. So Eric, he says, what if you want an open relationship, but she wants a monogamous one? No, bro. Okay, here's the thing. Now, here's the thing. Here's the key. It's okay if she prefers one, Eric. It's okay if she prefers one. But what you cannot have is once you tell her you're not getting a monogamous relationship, this is the kind of relationship you're going to get, take it or leave it. It's okay that she wants the other thing. But what cannot happen is that she wants it so bad that she disrupts the relationship you're giving her. So whatever relationship you're giving her in lieu of what she wants, she has to thrive in that relationship. She has to be content or happy in that relationship. So much so that her not having you at all isn't something she wants to see happen. So it's not so much that she's reluctantly agreeing, it's that she's okay with it. She's come to terms with it. But you can see how the woman responds. If the woman is reluctant, like, you guys are gonna argue. When women are reluctant to do shit they don't want to do, but they do it anyway, you're gonna get friction a lot. You're gonna get it a lot. But if a woman plays her position and she respects and appreciates the opportunity, you're not gonna get pushback. Now, it doesn't mean she's not gonna have, guys, women are not robots. Their feelings are very, very strong. so they can't completely squash them. So every now and again, she might get a little moody. She might feel a little insecure when you tell her, all right, look, hey girl, like she might hit you up and she might want to see you and be like, oh, not tonight, girl. Are you going out? Yeah, girl, I'm about to hit them streets. Oh, okay. And she give you that attitude because she know that there's chances you probably gonna go see another chick. And she got a little bit of attitude, but not disrespectfully. Like, so there's no way I can see you tonight. Nah, not tonight, girl, but I'll see you in a couple of days. So in her mind, she feels some kind of way because she feel like other bitches are stealing her time. That's not necessarily what's really happening, but she might take it that way. You know what I'm saying? But she cannot allow those thoughts to permeate her emotions where she acts out. She cannot do that. And even if she is getting a little bit moody, she has to have enough respect for you where you can still influence the situation where you can let her know, look, chill, relax. And she actually falls back into line. She's still gonna have her days, bro, where she's, she's a little jealous. That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Guys, when you are fucking a woman, when you are fucking the shit out of a woman, and you are fucking the shit out of her and she can't get enough of you, and she loves you, listen to me. And she loves you, and you care about her, that's the key. Listen, hold on. Hold on. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. When you are, and all these things, when all these things are happening at the same time, okay, listen to what I'm telling you. If a woman physically likes the way you look, she's attracted to you physically, she's sexually attracted to you, you are fucking the dog shit out of her, and she loves your personality, and she cares about you immensely, and you care about her too, bro, there's gonna be days where she wants you all to herself. She don't want to share sometimes, especially when you're leaving her. Like, especially guys, you ever fuck the shit out of a chick to where you are literally putting her to sleep? Like, you're about to put her to bed, like Jay Holiday said, because you are fucking, she don't want you to leave. She wants you to lay there. Because she looking at you like, how you gonna fuck me like this? How you gonna make me nut like this? My body is so weak, I can't even stand. Just hold me. And you're like, girl, I gotta go home. I gotta go home. We'll do this again in a few days or a week or so, right? And she knows that you're probably gonna see another girl tomorrow or the next day. And she like, oh, fuck. Oh, God, come on now. Ladies, I understand your pain, but this is why you gotta be diligent. This is why how you structure your situations with women, your leadership has to be on point, because you have to understand that even if women are dealing with you on your terms, when they care about you, they're still gonna have their days where maybe they are a little more emotional than they would like to be. They're still gonna have those days, right? There is no way a woman is gonna be 100% never feeling nothing the whole way. No, they're gonna feel things, bro. They're gonna feel them. But again, if you're dealing with a woman who really wants to be there, like, listen to what I'm telling you. Her needs, wants, and desires, right? She really wants to be there. It's less likely she's gonna make it difficult. But when you have a woman where she feels like she's emotionally deficient, she feels like something where she feels like there's a void in her life. Like if you look at Jada Pinkett Smith, she felt there was a void. That's why she was fucking with August. She was fucking with August. She felt there was a void. And that void was actually having sex with a man they were sexually attracted to. I need you guys to understand that. That's the void. The void is having sex with men in those cases that they are actually sexually attracted to, and or actually being in a long-term relationship or marriage with a man they are actually sexually attracted to. That's the void. That's the sacrifice. That's the sacrifice. When women settle for a man, right? That's the sacrifice. I'm settling for a man I'm not sexually attracted to. There's going to be, see, it's not just a sex void. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. And real quick, see, a woman, she said Ayesha Curry should have went through a whole phase, right? No. That's not what it is. Okay, and I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, but people tend to misinterpret things different ways. Right? Even a whole phase, like that's subjective. What does a whole phase mean? Does it mean, right? Because one woman's whole phase may be, I fucked 5 guys in 6 months. Another woman's whole phase might be, I fucked 20 guys in 6 months. So that's subjective. But no. And the woman, real quick, women understand what Ayesha is talking about and what Jada, they understand that. That's why they don't condemn them like men do. So they understand. So when she said Ayesha needs to go through a whole phase, what she's really trying to say is she needs to have sex with multiple men she's actually sexually attracted to, so she can get that feeling of actually having sex with a man that she lusts. That's what she's really saying. She's not trying to say she should go fuck 20 guys. Okay, I don't think that's what she means, right? She needs to go have sex with men that she actually wants to have sex with. You got to remember, she was never sexually attracted to Steph. So when women are in relationships settling for men they're not sexually attracted to, it's not just a sex void. It's an emotional void that's tied to having sex with a man they are actually sexually attracted to. You got to remember, attraction is an emotion. Then listen to what I'm telling you. Attraction is an emotion. To be attracted to someone is an emotional feeling. If I'm sexually attracted to a woman, that's an emotional feeling. If a woman is sexually attracted to you, that's an emotional feeling, to be attracted, right? So if women are settling for men they're not sexually attracted to, there's an emotional feeling that they're not getting in that relationship, which is why they will often cheat. They will cheat and I'm not saying every woman every time, but most of the time, they will cheat and or express their emotional emptiness publicly because they got to get it out. They either got to get it out verbally where they got to talk about their feelings, or they got to go fuck. They got to go fuck a man that they are actually sexually attracted to so they can get that thirst quenched with that feeling of actually having a man, having sex with a man that they desire. That's how strong, guys, this is how strong sexual attraction is. It's strong. For a woman to want to fuck you the first night, see, a lot of guys, they'll say women are hoes and all that. And I'm not saying, because some women, they might be a little too reckless with that. And when I say reckless, I'm talking about women who engage in risky, unprotected sex, and especially when they've been drinking. Like, that's risky. But if women are sober and are having unprotected sex, I have nothing to say about that. But women who are engaging in risky sex where there's alcohol, drugs, and people are having unprotected sex and they just met niggas, okay, and that's for y'all guys, that's risky sexual behavior, right? And having casual sex is risky enough. But when you add drugs, alcohol, and no condoms, it's a problem, right? But for a woman who's sober, okay, for a woman who is sober, right, to decide to have sex with a man she just met, especially the first night, where there's no money involved. It's not about money, it's not about anything. It's about her sheer desire to be sexually gratified and to sexually gratify that man. That's a very strong emotional feeling at that time. You got to remember, when people are emotional or they make decisions mainly based on their emotions, you're being impulsive. Having sex the first time you meet somebody, that's an impulsive behavior. And that's based on emotions. Now, you can be logical and still have sex. You can be like, all right, but I'm going to make sure I wrap up, though. I'm going to make sure I'm not dealing with a chick who's acting goofy, though. Because you can still have that feeling, that emotion, but you can still make a logical choice in how you go about having sex. Okay, let me make sure I'm straight. Let me make sure I don't put myself in any situations where I'm going to a chick crib or I'm going to a seedy side of town to meet a bitch. Right? This is where you use logic, right? So a woman can still be impulsive, but still display logic, right? So an example might be, let's say a woman is sexually attracted to you and she's down to have sex. And you say, yeah, we can go back to my crib. And she might say, do you live by yourself? And you say, no, I got 3 roommates. And she might be like, well, will anybody be there around this time? And let's say you say yes. She might say, I don't want to go over there with all those guys over there. Now, some women might not care. I've had women that came to see me and it's mad niggas in the house, right? But I've also had women that, I don't want to do that. And some of them have their reasons. And you can't be mad at the reason. I'm not going to get into different reasons it could be, right? But my point is, in that moment, if a woman is reluctant to go over there because there's mad niggas over there, she's like, it's one thing for me to put myself around one man I don't know, but I'm not going to be in, because I don't know those guys' intentions, but I know his, and I'm cool with his, right? So if a woman reluctantly, if a woman, not reluctantly, but if a woman says, I'm not going to go over there, but, we can go to back my place or we can do whatever, or sometimes the woman might be like, we can go to a hotel, I got it. A woman might do that. And let me just say this. If a woman says, well, we can get a hotel, and you can tell her, yeah, if you get it, if you pay for it, because if I invite you to the crib and you don't want to go and you try to get a hotel, I'm not paying for it. You got to pay for that shit, right? But my point is, in that moment, she's being logical. Like, I don't want to put myself in any more risk than I need to. You see what I'm saying? Because grown-ups understand that engaging in casual sex is risky behavior. You just got to be smart about it, though. It's like anything you do, whether it be driving, gambling, drinking alcohol, anything you do that can potentially lead to something happening, if you're going to engage in it, just be smart about it. That's it. There we go. Yeah, sexual attraction is not logical. There's nothing logical about sexual attraction. But before, ladies and men, before you have it though, before you get naked and do what you do, just be smart about it. Don't put yourself in any more risk than you already are. Because even having casual sex with a condom can break. And it's not even about necessarily just an STD. Condom can break when you've already skeeted in it. And I've had that happen where I just met a chick, same night, condom breaks. And I already skeeted in it. And I'm in it for a minute and I'm like, why it feels so fucking good? What the fuck? So I pull out, and I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? But that can happen in, even if you're dating a woman and you guys are not in a relationship, but you're dating, seriously, that can happen. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, be smart. Just be smart. The silent betrayal, how women trade relationship, loyalty for emotional attention. Guys, in closing, let me make sure, I think I got all the questions. Oh, there's one question right there. Hold on real quick. So he says, in regards to women telling your business to other people, do you expect her to know that already, or should you tell her that is unacceptable at the start of a relationship? Well, let me say this real quick. In the defense of women, okay, I just want to be, I want to make this clear. If a woman is being mistreated by you, guys, I don't expect her to not share that. Okay, I want to be clear. If a woman is being mistreated, if you're abusive, emotionally, mentally, verbally, physically, I expect a woman to share that with somebody, right? Now, we're just talking about other shit, where a woman is just talking about shit she should not be talking about. But if she's in danger, I expect her to share that shit. But just other shit. No, personally, I never had any reason to tell a woman that. I never had a reason, right? So the only reason I told that woman that and any woman after that was because of the first situation where the chick was, crying on my mama's shoulder about me. And my thing is, I can't have that. Because here's the thing, again, and here's the point I wanted to make. There was a point I wanted to make, a broader point about influence. When your woman goes outside of the relationship to seek counsel about the relationship, and especially when she does it behind your back or unbeknownst to you, the problem that can happen and the danger that she's inviting, and she might not even realize it, but the danger she's inviting is, because you got to remember, when women are crying on other people's shoulders, they're seeking allies. They want people who see it how they see it. They want people who agree with them. That's why if a woman doesn't agree with you, she'll ignore your advice. She wants people to say, girl, you're right. I get it. So that's what she's seeking. That's why she went to my mother, another woman, a woman who's married to, you gotta understand, my mother married to my father. His father's kind of hard-headed like him. He's a man that don't budge, carries like his father. He don't budge. Let me go to his mother. You know what I'm saying? So, but my point is, I never felt the need to tell a woman not to do that, right? But again, back to my point about women doing that. If people are telling them what they want to hear, now other people have the ability to influence her ear. Listen to what I'm telling you. If she's getting allies and people are agreeing with her position, even if she's wrong, if people are agreeing with her position, she's open to be influenced by their opinion. I remember one of my exes, she would get upset because I guess she was trying to complain to her peoples about me, and her peoples were Team Carrie. Even the females in her family, aunts, cousins, all of them, was like, I agree with him. I don't see nothing wrong with what he's doing or what he said. I agree with him. So even when you moving right, listen to what I'm telling you guys, even when you're moving right as a man, if the woman is emotional, she might not see that you're moving right. I mean, she might not feel that way. So in some cases, she'll go seek other people's opinion. And then again, when this young lady did that, they told her, no, hey. So she was humbled. She was humbled. And here, let me just say this real quick. When you deal with women strictly on your terms and you don't budge, and women aren't used to that, it can get a tad bit restrictive, a tad bit uncomfortable for them. I get it. It's new to them. See, y'all got to remember, some women are used to running around like an untamed horse. They're used to running around just wild, like Mustangs, right? But when you break them, yeah, ladies, yeah, when you break them, not in a bad way, when you break them, and you get them to understand that this is the place you want to be, need to be, and desire to be. But there are some rules here. See, they're excited, like, fuck it, I'm with it. But every now and again, because they're used to testing guys or they're used to men being inconsistent, there might be some old habits that might pop up. There are old habits with other guys who are not as consistent as you. So you gotta remind them. Hey, baby girl, I ain't him. Let me give y'all a prime example, right? And again, when we talk about setting boundaries, right? When we talk about setting boundaries, there's gonna be things, there's a lot of things here's the thing about setting boundaries, guys. You cannot sit with a list and be reading and be telling chicks, okay, So I have a list of boundaries. I'm going to go over my list of boundaries. It's going to take about 10 minutes, right? Um, in between my list, I'm going to give you a chance to speak and respond, but give me a chance to go through my list. It's kind of lengthy. No, you're not going to be sitting there doing that. You're not going to be sitting there doing that. If you're consistent and assertive and you're leading at the beginning, women observe you. So a lot of shit women are going to get just from observing you. Now, there are going to be instances where things happen that you're not always thinking about. And it might happen years later, or a year later, or months later. So I'll give you a prime example of something happening when I was married, right? Of something happening. And it wasn't bad, but I had to remind the chick, you ain't with them old niggas, you with a new nigga. I had to remind her, and I was very pleasant about it, right? She didn't do anything wrong. She just didn't know. So, she was always good about telling me, hey, babe, I'm leaving the house. I'm going here. I'm going with this person. I'm going to be gone for a couple of hours. And even if she didn't tell me a couple of hours, she might just say, hey, we're going shopping at La Cantera, or we're going shopping. I'm naming places y'all might not know about if you're not from San Antonio. We're going, and she might just say that. I'm going with my mom to La Cantera. See you later. All right, and that's cool. And she dips, right? Now, here's the thing, right? And I don't have this requirement that women tell me who they're with, where they're going, how long they're going to be going. I don't have none of those requirements. Never have. But because of the way that I move, women automatically do that. Automatically. Every woman I've ever dated seriously automatically did. All of them did that, right? I never had to suggest it or anything. They all did that. Now, one day she leaves and she says, I'm going somewhere with this person. I should be back in a couple of hours. Now, a couple of hours means 2, 3, I'll say even 4. That's what a couple of hours mean to me. 2, 3, maybe 4, right? So she tells me that. I'm like, all right, bet. So let's say for the sake of argument, she left at 9 o'clock in the morning. Noon comes. I'm not thinking about it. 1 o'clock comes. I'm not really thinking about it. 1:45 comes. I'm like, 2 o'clock comes. 2:30. I'm like, okay, hold on. So I'll just text. You good? That's all I'm texting. Nothing. I'm not calling. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just texting. You good? If she texts me back, yes, I'm not going to call or text. All I needed to know was exactly what I asked. You good? She said yes. All right. As far as I'm concerned, she's alive and well. Right? I don't need to. I'm good. Right? So my concern was, now bear in mind, right? Because she had always been consistent about saying, I'm going to be gone for a couple of hours or I'll be back. And she, right? And if she was going to be she was going to be gone a little bit longer, well, no, I think this happened after. Okay, this happened after. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself, right? So boom. So when she did that, when she got home, right? I sat her down. And I said, because she had told me about a situation, a previous relationship, where I guess the guy was never at home. He was always on the move, traveling or whatever. So she was never used. So she wasn't really used to, I guess, checking in, right? And she was like, my bad, babe. I got you. And I said, no. I said, it's not about checking in. I said, look. I said, if you tell me I'm going to be gone for a couple hours, I don't give a fuck. I said, but peep what you told me though. You said, I'm going to be gone for a couple hours. And every time you do that, you're back in a couple hours. I said, you were gone way longer. I said, I literally started to get a little concerned. I'm like, did she get into a car accident? Did she have a flat tire and she stuck at the side of the road and maybe her cell phone don't work? These are things I think about, right? Some other guys might be jealous. Oh, is she fucking somebody? Is she with somebody? None of that shit crossed my mind. My thing is, damn, normally she's on Johnny on the spot. So That was a boundary. Like, just let me know you good. Right. So after that, and this is what she did right after I told her that. And here's the key, guys. When a woman knows you're setting a boundary like that because you're really concerned for her safety, she's gonna go, oh, I'm gonna let him know I'm good. Because it means something. But when you try and set a boundary that's rooted in insecurity, like if you're, hey man, where you at, man? You better not be around no niggas. Girl, when you, da, 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 da. If you're setting a boundary for that reason, she won't respect you. Right? So my boundary had nothing to do with jealousy or insecurity. My shit was really on some, girl, yeah, hey, I don't want nothing to happen to you. Yeah, I gotta make sure you good, right? Because she's had situations happen where she's been in accidents in the past, right? And where the car damn near rolled over. So now I'm on pins and needles. Like if I don't hear from her, I'm like, hey, girl, you good? Right? Because she couldn't see that good at night, right? So I'm like, hey. That's why when she would be driving at night, I'm like, get your ass home quick, because I'll be worried, right? Because she can't see. So but it's a legitimate concern. It should always come from a place of I really care, not on some I'm worried about you leaving me or I'm worried about some other dude. No, if a woman knows you care and she will respect that boundary and she will do as you ask, no problem, no problem. So yeah, now again, God, but some boundaries, again, it comes down to from the very beginning, you have to be consistent about who. This is why, guys, it's important to be consistent and to always show women the real you. Because if you, guys, listen to what I'm telling you. If you step to women with a mask on and you're passive and you're indirect, what some women may get, whether it's conscious or subconscious, is that you really have no boundaries. You have no standards. You have no dating rules. So you might have women that might start crossing mad boundaries. But what happens is because you guys want to fuck so bad, you don't really say a whole lot. And then let's say for the sake of argument, after a couple of dates or whatever, you guys start dealing with each other. Now you want to complain about the shit that she's doing. It ain't, she's going to be inconsistent. She might listen to you for a week, but then she's going to be right back at it. Okay, hold on. Did I read his shit? Okay, so let me read this. Hold on. Those PUA tactics to get the women isn't derived from something real. So because she settled, her true self has. Y'all think I read that? Okay. Yeah. Again, in the PUA tactics, let me get back to that because it tells you to fight through her resistance, and it tells you get that girl no matter what. When you see that super attractive woman you want, dog, there should be nothing you're not willing to do to win that girl over. And you can see how that turned out for Will Smith. He was madly in love with Jada when they first met. And he did everything to win her over, just like the PUAs tell guys to do. And look at how Jada's treating him. Look at how she disrespects this man and mocks their marriage for the world to see. He used PUA tactics. Same thing with Steph. Her family had to talk her into dealing with Steph. She didn't want to deal with Steph. She wanted to be the star. She wanted to be the star. She wanted to be the one. She wanted to be the headliner. She wanted to be the head nigga in charge. And Steph is I think, look, in my opinion, I think both Will and Steph, great guys. Great guys. Great guys. I personally don't think that those women could have picked better men to marry. I really believe that. The problem is they are weak as fuck. That's Will's problem. He's a weak man. That's Steph's problem. He's a weak man. But in terms of just being great men, I don't think either woman could have picked a better man to marry. There is no man, in my opinion, that Jada could have met that would have gave her the lifestyle that Will gave her or has given her. Same thing with Ayesha. It's not saying that she wouldn't have met another man that would have married her and provided. But on Steph's level, On Steph's level, nah, no. Right? So I do believe that, again, those women got the best man they could get based on what society says a man should be, a provider, the breadwinner. Right? Looks, money, status. I mean, you could say that those two guys, they have those things. So apparently those women got exactly who they're supposed to get. High profile bachelors, right? They got them. The problem is Steph is weak. And I believe he's a hopeless romantic. He definitely believes in love, which is fine. And Will's the same way. These guys are hopeless romantics. These guys are the rom-com guys, the notebook guys. They probably sit with a box of Kleenex with their girl and watch tearjerkers together. I really believe these, and I'm not making fun of them. I really believe these men are those kind of guys where they're just good dudes, but they're too good for their own good. They're too nice. That's what I mean. Will Smith and Steph, they're too nice. And unfortunately, when you're too nice, you know, people take advantage. People don't appreciate it. And people can be mad at Ayesha or Jada, but you got to remember, women can only do what you allow. Women, look, Steph will never leave Ayesha. I'm telling you right now, he will never leave her. In my opinion, unless she cheated or some real fucked. And even then, I think if she cheated and it didn't get out to the public, I think Steph probably would stay. But if it went public, I think he wouldn't. I think that might be the only thing that might make that nigga leave. Right? And same thing with, and I don't know, I'm assuming that Jada and Will are still together. I mean, you never know with them motherfuckers. But Will never be completely done with Jada. Right? Right? I just don't think so. I think these men, they have so much emotional investment. And guys, and that's the danger. It's not even about sexual investment or financial investment. When you have so much emotional investment in a woman, that shit is mad unhealthy. To have that much emotional investment in women where they can publicly humiliate you, all in the name of emotional attention. And you stay? I don't feel sorry for Steph. I don't feel sorry for Will. And I'm not mad at Ayesha. She was supposed to marry Steph. I said it. She was supposed to marry Steph. What Steph was supposed to do was either not marry her or accept the fact that he was being settled for. Okay, let me say that shit again. Ayesha did what she was supposed to do. What Steph was supposed to do is recognize this chick really don't want me like that. And either not fuck with her at all or accept the fact that y'all were gonna play house and you were gonna be settled for. Just accept it. Just like a trick when he pays a sex worker, he needs to accept. This ain't no real feelings. This is a business deal. This is a business transaction. Ayesha made a career business move. The day she met, let me rephrase it. The day Steph said, "I do," her retirement plan was set. Same thing with Jada. The moment Will said, "I do," her retirement plan, she was set for life. Both of them. Both of them made great business. Women, y'all know it's true. Jada and Ayesha made great business decisions. They married the right men, as far as that's concerned. But the guys married the wrong women, right? So, but once you realize that a woman ain't feeling you like that, play your position. Why you getting all emotional? You know what I'm saying? Play your position. You know your woman didn't like you like that. Play your position. Just understand what you're getting yourself into. Don't cry about it later. But same thing for women, real quick. For you women. And let's go back to the story I told you about the chick who reluctantly got into the open relationship. Play your position. Why are you crying about it? Yeah, she reluctantly did it, but the homie never said it did it. See, that's the leadership of the man. Two things can be true at the same time. Once the woman was reluctant, the guy should have said, I can't fuck with you. And once the woman saw that he's headstrong and that he's hell-bent on having this open relationship, she should have said, I ain't fucking with him. But when you have two people that are mainly motivated by their emotions to make decisions, that's what happens. You have a mess. And it's always going to be the fault of the man because you should have saw it. You had a chance to stop it. Steph, Will, they had a chance. Okay, you fucked her. So what? You didn't have to marry her, dog. You fucked her. So what? You ain't have to put a baby in her, dog. You could have stopped. You could have said, you know what? I've gone too far. I've gone far enough. Dealing with this chick, fucking her, is as far as I'm willing to go. Get into a serious relationship or a marriage, and Lord forbid, putting a baby in this chick. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to be miserable. And let me just say this real quick, because I want to separate Ayesha and Jada. Outside of Ayesha talking too much, I don't look at her as someone who necessarily mistreats Steph. She just talks too much. There are things that she needs to keep. And here's the thing, women can do, I don't give a fuck if women do podcasts, but when it comes to your personal relationship, don't share things against your husband's will. Don't share things that he doesn't want to be shared. That's just respect. That's all that is, right? I don't think Ayesha now, behind closed doors, I don't know. Jada, on the other hand, she most definitely big boys Will Smith. She most definitely mistreats that motherfucker. Ooh. Oh, my God. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. And here's the thing. I'm glad you said that. Right there. There are some men that need to tell their women, look, Denzel Washington, how long he been married? Like 40-something years? Samuel L. Jackson, Magic Johnson. There are men who have been married for 20, 25, 30, 40 years, and you don't hear nothing from their women. You couldn't even pick their women out of a lineup if they committed a crime. I don't know who she is. I don't see her like that. I don't know who she is. I don't hear her like that. And that's exactly how it should be. That's exactly how it should be. You see what I'm saying? Look, real quick, and shout out to Dominique Dawes. Is it Dominique Dawes? What's her name? Oh, I'm saying the wrong name. What's that bitch's name? What's her name? The gymnast, the black chick. Simone Biles. I believe that's her name. Like, shout out to her, right? If you look at her and her, I don't know if she's still married to the other guy or not. The other guy used to play football. Her husband. I don't know if they're still married. I'm assuming that they are. And the guy, Simone Biles was always more popular at her sport than he was at his sport. So Simone Biles was always the more known person in the relationship, right? So she's the one on the commercial. She's the one doing interviews. The husband, he just playing football, doing his thing, chilling. Everybody want to talk to her? Go ahead. Y'all want to do an interview with her? I'm going to step to the side and go over here, right? Same thing with, if you're the wife of these dudes, play your position. Stay out the way. Yes, Denzel, yes, their women are quiet. Now, here's the thing. A lot of these women, they have their own businesses, right? Because when you're in position and you're married to these kind of men, I would hope that women would be like, shit. You better, hey, get in position. So you have some women, they're doing things, so they might have some level of visibility. but they're not always talking about shit they shouldn't be talking about. Right? Just, you ain't got to do all that talking. Let's think about the guys who've been married for a long time. All right. Kobe Bryant wife. I don't hear Vanessa talk. When they was, even when they was, when Kobe was still alive, may God rest his soul. I didn't hear her talking a lot. And shout out to what's his name? Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife, Shawnee. Right? Although she had the reality shows and she did a couple of interviews and she admitted, well, I left him because he cheated on me. She didn't run Shaq through the mud. She didn't say a whole lot of shit. Shaq is the one who really talked more about that than her. So this is my point. When you get with a woman, you can't be getting with women that run their mouth and they go run tell that. And they go, again, they're talking about private things that should be kept in house. Like, we ain't got to talk about shit. Guys, there are things that women have shared with me, specific women, that I have never shared with anybody. And there are some women I haven't been in a relationship with in years, 15, 20 years. And I'm going to take what they told me to the grave. Even if I have a bad breakup with a chick or a bad divorce or whatever, just hypothetically speaking, if she shares something with me in confidence, as long as she keep her mouth shut, she better keep her mouth shut. Hey, I'm a petty nigga. As long as she keep her mouth shut, I got to put that caveat on it. I'm taking it to the grave. There are things that women have shared with me I've never shared with anybody. I've never shared with my brothers. I've never shared with any of the women I've dealt with. Women tell me, Carrie, please never tell anybody. I got you. We break up, get divorced, I won't tell nobody. And I haven't. I'm a man of my word, right? So, and that's all you want from anybody, man. It's just people to be straight up with you, not to be full of shit. Guys, in closing, let me show I think there may have been a question I may have missed. Shout out Boxing Plug Dave. Appreciate you, fam. Hold on real quick. I feel like there's a question I may have missed. Okay, hold on. What did you say? Can you give an example of a time when you had an emotional moment in the 5-year? Yeah, I just explained it. I just started acting like I was the one in love. That's all. I just started acting like I was the one in love. Because you got to remember, typically I'm not sentimental like that. I'm not all mushy like that. I'm not a mushy guy. Now, don't get me wrong. I can be affectionate. I can hug on my woman, even though I don't like to cuddle for too long. I can cuddle a little bit, right? Right. I can do all of that shit. However, right? However, now we're talking about emotional. Number one, I ain't crying. Again, just emotional is just, I started acting like the one in love. You know what I'm saying? Being a little too emotional about shit. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Let me think of it. Okay. I'll give you one. I'll give you one instance. I remember. This is before we got married. This is before we was living together. Before we got married. In fact, this particular instance, this particular situation, and it might have turned here, but this is where I should have left her alone. Because at the time, was she my girlfriend? I think she was my girlfriend at the time. I should have left her alone. So I'll give you a moment, right? I had to think of one, right? So we weren't living together at the time. I had an apartment at the time. So I had washed my clothes at the laundromat. And she came over that night and she was gonna fold my laundry, right? Because chicks like folding my laundry. For whatever reason, and plus my clothes smell good. Look, my clothes smell hella good. Like, look, when I put on clean clothes, not even the cologne, like just how my clothes smell, I smell like that all day. I smell like a bottle of Bounce all goddamn day. You know what I'm saying? So women just love folding my shit, right? So while she was in the midst of doing that, she saw some panties, right? And it was a pair of like green black thongs or something. And she was holding them up like, whose are these? And I looked at them nonchalantly, and I'm like, aren't they yours? shrugging my shoulders like, shit, aren't they yours? Right? See, now, Nick, this is me being me. At the time, I'm being Carrie, like, shit, aren't they yours? So when she says, no, they're not mine, and I'm like, oh, shit, oh well, I guess they're not yours. She was like, who's bitches paying for these? And I'm like, girl, chill. I'm like, chill. I'm like, I pull my shit out the public fucking laundry thing. Somebody could have left them drawers in there. Who knows? Right? So that's all. To me, I was done with it. Once I said that, I was done with it. Right? Right? Or so I thought. Right? This is where I allowed my emotions to get the better of me. This is where I didn't stand on shit. Because normally I would stand on shit, and I would be like, then, girl, if they ain't yours, oh well, get over that shit. Right? That's normally how I would be. Get over that shit. And if she would have been mad, I would have been like, then take your ass home. That's how I would have been. But this is not what I did, Elo, this time. I played myself, right? So when I said, they're not yours, whatever, okay. But when she started to get emotional about it, and she got ready to leave, I'm like, no, girl, why you leaving? See, I never would have did that. Elo, I never would have stopped the chick from leaving. I would have been like, bye, bitch. Getting all mad for no reason. Bitch, I told you. I don't know who they belong to. I told you where they probably came from. Accept that shit and shut the fuck up. That's normally how I would be, Elo, but I was falling in love. This is how your emotions, bitch. I started to fall in love. This is where it flipped. Because I didn't want her to leave. And then she left anyway. And then I'm calling her, Elo. What? I'm calling her, Elo. Why you leave like that? I'm being a bitch, Elo. Why you leave like that? Oh shit. And I think I'm not 100% certain, but that's probably where everything flipped, where it went from her looking up at me to her looking down at me. Like, look at you groveling. This ain't the Carrie. This ain't the Carrie that would check me. You used to check me for my behavior. Yeah, you started off checking me, but the more emotional I got, the more emotional you got, you bitch ass nigga. I'm telling you, I'm not perfect. The great Zagan can be killed. I know, guys. I know. I can be. Look, I can bleed too. Niggas bleed. I can bleed. I'm like the Russian in Rocky. He's cut. He's cut. You cut him. Yes. I can be cut. I can be cut. As impossible as it seems. Yes. But this is what happened. When I got out of that in love stage, and I woke up and I snapped out of it, and I came back to being Carrie again, and I said, woo, is that what it's like on the dark side when niggas fall in love? Oh, how do niggas be a bitch their whole life? I was like a bitch for a couple of months. Oh, damn. I was a bitch for a couple of months. They bitch their whole life. How do y'all do that? So once I snapped out of it, and I started acting like my regular self, it was too late. It was too late. I couldn't get her back to where she was before. And she would show consistent, she would show inconsistently that she was kind of on it, kind of like what y'all be going through with chicks. And she kind of listened for the most part. And she would listen. Here's the funny part. Let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. Even after I started acting like the bitch with the whole panty thing, later on, because we weren't living together, but later on in a relationship, I'm gonna show you the inconsistencies and how she would, humble herself, and then, but there was one time I was at the crib and she was at her crib, and we had no plans on seeing each other that night. And she calls me and she says, is it okay if I go out? So she's asking. That wasn't the first time she did that. So she asked permission. She would call me and ask me, could she go out? And I'm like, yeah, we don't got no plans tonight, girl. Go do your thing. And she's like, well, I just want you to know. And by the way, so one particular night, she had a friend that came into town, and her friend was a lesbian, right? But it's a friend she hadn't seen in a while, right? Like years, right? And I'm telling you she's a lesbian for a reason, because it plays into how everything transpired. Right? So so our friend coming to town, so she calls me initially to say, hey, such and such is in town. She wants to grab a drink. Is that okay with you? Is that all right? And I'm like, sure, I got no problem with that. And she was like, well, I wanted to ask because I told you about her and she's a lesbian. She like girls. So I just want you to know the fact that I'm out with a chick who like girls. Right? And I'm like, girl, I ain't tripping. Like, do your thing. So she hangs up. And then she calls back later. Right? And she says, babe, can you come with me? Now, here is a woman, right, who's asking my permission to go out. And then she calls back and she asking me to come with her because now she's having reservations about meeting this chick. Because I don't want to be around this chick. It's gonna might hit on me. I want my man to be there so she can see me with my man. So I can be there in solidarity. So I can let her know this is my man and I want dick and only dick. So she wanted me to come with her. I went from having a woman do that to being all in love. Do y'all understand how you can fuck yourself up? So I had that level of influence going on, and here I am. Acting less than a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Like, guys, it's real. A woman who has a great deal of respect for you, all it take is that can be undone in a moment of emotional weakness or multiple moments of emotional weakness. It can be all undone. And a lot of guys will look at that and be like, this shit don't make no sense. Yes, it does. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. Women, when it comes to a woman's emotions and how they're wired. Now, I don't know how a woman is wired. I'm not a woman, right? I'm just telling you. There's a lot of complexities. There's a lot of now. Women are simplistic in this regard, meaning she wants a good-looking man who can fuck her right, who loves her, and she loves him. And she can have him all to herself. And he treats her well. In and out of the bedroom. Every woman wants that. But there's way more complexities to it than that. But even when you look at the reason why a woman would have sex with a man versus why she wouldn't, sometimes women can't explain exactly why. Sometimes a woman cannot explain exactly why. Like I've known chicks, for instance, if they're having sex with a guy that their friend, like an example, and ladies, y'all know what I mean. If a woman is having sex with a guy that their friends feel is visually beneath her standards, meaning if a woman is having sex with a guy who by her standards or her preferences isn't the type of guy she would typically go for visually, but if she's fucking them, her girls might say, really, girl? Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, he don't seem like someone you would normally fuck with. I know, girl, right? But there's something about him. I just can't put my finger on it. Girl, he must be fucking you good. I mean, he is, but there's something else, girl. I can't put my finger on it. I just can't get enough of him. So sometimes they can't really explain it. It's just being around that guy, his energy, his essence, his masculine presence. It's just the way they feel. They can't always put it into words. Like even when a girl said Ayesha needed a whole phase, she couldn't really break it down and say, no, all she really need is to have sex with men that she actually lusts. To see what it, because here's this is what guys don't understand. Most women are more in tune with their sexuality than most men are, especially emotionally. Hey, let me say that shit again. Most women, just on average, are more in tune with their sexuality, meaning they know exactly what they need for the most part. For the most part. For the most part. They know exactly what they need for the most part, right? Men, a lot of guys, they're not really in tune with their sexuality because they're so indecisive and they're all over the place when it comes to women. And they allow themselves to be led by women. See, when you are in tune with your sexuality, you know exactly what you want. And for the most part, you know how to go get it. you know how to go get it because you know what you need, right? When we talk about needs, wants, and desires, right? So I forgot the point I was trying to make. God damn it. Just that quickly. Just that quickly, I forgot the point I was trying to make. Well, I'm trying to remember. Okay, the chick. Okay, chick talking about sexual desire. Okay, or whole phase. So the type of sexual experience a woman will have with a man she settled for will never compare to the type of sexual experiences she will have with men that she actually gets turned on by, that she actually sexually desires. It won't be the same. So if a woman has ever had sex with men that she sexually desired, and then she settles for a man she doesn't sexually desire, she already knows that there's going to be an emotional void going into it. That she's going to have to somehow get that rectified because she's going to be out. She already knows that going in because she knows what it's like to have sex with a man that she can't get enough of versus having sex with a man that if she could help it, maybe she wouldn't want to have sex with. Or maybe she has sex with, and it's okay sex, it's not bad, but the desire isn't strong. Like she doesn't yearn for it. Like when I talk about yearn for it, I remember some of my exes, one ex in particular, when she would be coming home from work, she would send me a picture of her coochie. Like she would be in the car and she would take a picture of her coochie, send me a picture, and she would say, "I can't wait to get home so you can ravage her." That's some real shit. "I can't wait to get home so you can ravage her." Do you think when women settle for guys that they're telling those guys that? That they're sitting in traffic, "I can't wait to get home so he can shove all that dick in me. I can't wait. I can't wait." So women understand when they're sitting in traffic and they got their man and his dick on their mind. Because not only are they physically attracted to him, they are sexually attracted to him. The sex is amazing and they love the fuck out that nigga, right? So they sitting in like, "I can't wait to get home to him." And check this out. When a woman is getting off of work and she knows her stress reliever is waiting on her, it's like, imagine, I'm gonna give y'all a visual. Like if you're dealing with like this masculine suit wearing chick, right? You think she's masculine at work, right? But you don't know that she's super submissive at home, right? But she got on the business suit. She always got her hair up, right? So imagine, she always got her hair up, right? But when she get in that car, she take her hair down. You know how they do their hair? Unique, Uncle Guns, Danny P. You know how they do their hair? And then she take off that suit jacket. You know how they be having the button up? Because they ain't trying to show no cleavage. Ain't no femininity there. This is business, right? But when they get in that car, they unbutton a couple of buttons. You can see the bra now because they going home to their man. See, when that suit jacket come off and that hair come down and them buttons come down, femininity activated because she knows she's going home to her man. But right before she get there, she's going to send him a picture. "I can't wait to get home to you so you can ravage her." Her. Because when I talk to women, guys, women always have a wing woman. Every day of their life, their vagina. A woman's wing woman is her vagina. So when you talk to a woman, you got to talk to them like a tandem. "How are y'all doing today? How are my girls this morning?" That's how I talk to chicks. "How are my girls this morning?" Your chick sleeping butt naked, you kiss her lips, then you kiss her other lips. "How are my girls this morning?" Do that shit. If you never do that, if you never done that shit, now don't be doing that shit with no chick you just fucking. Kiss both lips and say, "How are my girls doing this morning?" Watch her melt. Oh. Watch your mouth. How are my girls doing? Anyway, real quick, let me get back to this shit. But no, guys, here's the thing. All that falling in love shit, leave it for women. I'm not saying you can't love your woman. Every woman I was in a relationship with, I had love for. I adored. When I say adore means love and respect. I adored all of those women in my own unique way. I adored all of those women. But I got caught slipping. Not the whole relationship, just like a couple months. It was like a couple of months. And I got it back on track. And then eventually the inconsistencies but I created the inconsistencies. But and again, I got it back on track, but after a while, the inconsistencies, and again, shout out to the homie Lucario, because he says when you get a medium interest woman, it's always going to be inconsistent. Remember, I had a high interest girlfriend and turned her into a medium interest wife because I was being inconsistent. So there were times when she was straight, but then times she fell back into that inconsistency to the point where it just proved to be the undoing of the marriage and we couldn't go further. And for me, that's why when relationships end, for me, it doesn't matter if I'm ending it or the woman is ending it. This is why I can't get sad, right? Because if a woman is ending it or I'm ending it, all that means is the woman isn't doing what I'm telling her to do. So if a woman is ending it, what that means is she no longer wants to deal with me on my terms. Listen to what I'm telling you. If a woman is ending it, she is telling me, I no longer want to deal with you on your terms. I want to negotiate. I want to interject some of my shit in this. And the answer will always be no. So we got no choice but to end this shit, right? Or if I'm ending it, you're not moving like I need you to move while I'm dealing with you on my terms. So either way, when the relationship ends, whether the woman ends it or I end it, she ain't moving how I need her to move. That's why I can't cry over a woman. That's why I can't be sad. What am I cry over? A hard-headed chick that ain't listening? A woman who's inconsistent? A woman I can no longer depend on? I'm not mad at that. Okay, what you should be mad at is that you let the relationship go on that long to where she beat you to ending it. You should have been the one that ended it. She shouldn't beat you to that shit. You should have did it first. So he says, yes, but my Hurricanes, baby. Hold on real quick. Hold on, I got to rub it. Yo, bro, yo. Hey, bro. Hey, my heart. We right there. We number two. We got the quarterback. We got the offense and that defense. Oh, that Miami defense. Them defensive ends. Bro, they're going to be in the NFL. They're going to play on Sundays. Oh, that defense. Oh, Miami's defense. But we gotta chill, baby. I'll feel better when we make it to the ACC championship game undefeated. Then I can relax. Right now, I'm excited, but I gotta maintain. I gotta chill. I'm getting excited now talking about it. My Hurricanes, boy. We need a championship. We need hold on real quick. Hey, it's real. It's real. we need a championship. We need another one. It's been a minute. Hold on, I got my championship. We won one in 83, 87, 89, 91, and 2001. It's been 24 years. We need another chip. And if San Francisco and Miami can win one this year at the same time, I'll give up sex for 30 days. If San Fran and the 49ers and the Hurricanes win a chip this year at the same time, Lord, I will not fuck for 30 days straight. Okay, hold on real quick. Let's see here. Appreciate the $4.99, bro. I think I got all y'all questions. I think it said USC, man. USC has, I think USC is doing okay. I think they got an okay record. I think they got a winning record. But they're not really in a championship conversation, I don't believe. It's not to say they can't get there, but I don't think they are currently. But be that as it may, let's get back to this. I saw a question. Hold on, real quick. There we go. That's what I was missing. All right. So do you schedule a FaceTime call with the woman, or do you just call after she texts you hello? I don't know what you mean. Why would she text you hello? I don't know what you mean. You got to give me the context as far as why are you even in a situation for her to text you hello? Like, yeah, you got to give more context to what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. This is, he said, hey, number one, we should have won last night. We should have beat. We had, now, in my opinion, Tampa Bay, I think they have a better overall team than the 49ers. Tampa Bay is playing great. But the 49ers had a chance to win yesterday. The 49ers should have, and with all them injuries, we lost Fred, I almost cried. When I saw Fred's ankle turn, I looked at the TV and I just put my head down and I almost cried. I said, God damn it. When I saw his ankle break, that was worse than a divorce. I was more emotional about seeing that than when I saw the divorce papers. Like, I swear to God, when I saw the divorce papers, I was not emotional. I was like, oh, okay. When I saw that, I was like, fuck. We were doing so well. But for real, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Getting served with divorce papers, that shit do sting. However, it sting. And the only reason that it stings is because, like, this is the way we gonna do it. You ain't gonna tell me about the shit. You just gonna hit me with divorce papers. You ain't never gonna come to a nigga, right? The disrespect. I thought we was better than that. This shit didn't warrant a heads up. You couldn't give a nigga a heads up. You had to do it this way, right? So for me, it stings in that regard. It's more of like a disrespectful thing. Like, a nigga earned a courtesy to get more of a courtesy. Like, give a nigga a heads up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm not gonna do if I'm breaking up with a chick is she come to the crib and the keys don't work. I'm gonna give her a heads up so she can properly prepare herself. Like, hey, I'm letting you know this shit is ending. So that way you can get your affairs in order and prepare life without me, right? But I'm not just gonna just drop it on you. Like, no, that shit ain't cool. So it stings in that regard, which that should make you even more emboldened to say, I would never take this bitch back. I would never go back and recycle her because of the way that she did it. Because here's the thing. You can go through a divorce or a breakup or even a legal separation. You can do that where you sit down and you and your significant other have a mature adult conversation and both of y'all admit whatever is wrong in a relationship or marriage. Y'all admit that both of y'all know that maybe the sex isn't what it used to be. And I never had a problem. Let me be clear. I never had a problem with that. Sex was always good in every relationship I had. Like, I just want to keep it out there. I never had no problem with that shit. But for some people, the passion is gone. The intimacy is gone. The affection is gone. Right? So once you realize that, and those things are necessities for healthy relationships, you got to sit down and just probably admit, I don't know if we can get it. I don't know if we can get us back. I don't know if we can get back to where we were. Maybe it's wise that we part ways right now before we hate each other. And that's the key, is to break up a divorce or legally separate before it turns into hate. But unfortunately, what happens is you have one person who doesn't want the relationship to be over or marriage. The other person does. But although in your heart of hearts, you know it's the best thing, and I'm gonna tell you what it really, I'm gonna tell you it's ego. I'm gonna tell you what it is. And what it boils down to is when relationships end, the reason why there's so much hostility mainly is because a relationship ending is the ultimate rejection. Listen to me. A relationship ending is the ultimate rejection. We've been together all this time. We've been married. I gave you a child. I did it. And you're kicking me out of your life? Because see, a woman that's telling you I don't want you, She's basically saying, I don't even want to invite you in, right? Some guys, they take that, and some women, as a breakup or divorce, as you're kicking me out of your life. So for them, that's hard to swallow. You see what I'm saying? But the reality of it is, you know it should be over. But what it is the ego thing. The relationship or marriage isn't, and here's the key, it's not ending on your terms. You don't like the way that it's ending. You don't like the way that it's ending. So this is why I say this. In my relationships, right? Whether I initiated the ending of it or the woman initiated the ending of it, the woman was always emotional, right? Always. Just as emotional. It looked the same way. Like the chick that I broke up with, no, why are you leaving me? No, no, no. The chick that was initiating the end of the relationship, she felt the same way. She felt, even though she initiated the ending of the relationship, she felt like I was the one initiating it. And here's the reason why. And I want guys to understand. When a woman is wanting to end a relationship or marriage, and she's dead serious about it, like she don't want you no more, she don't want you to touch her, she don't give a fuck, she don't care. She don't want to talk to you, she don't care about none of that. She just wants it over, right? But when a woman is initiating the ending of a marriage or a relationship, but she really doesn't want it to end, she's just being hella emotional and goofy, what happens is, when you say, all right, let's end this shit, now she's looking at you like, whoa, 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 wait, it's not supposed to be like this. You're supposed to be getting emotional that I served you with divorce papers and didn't talk to you about it. Because here's the thing, I want guys to understand, and that's manipulation. See, a woman who really wants to get divorced from you, there's only two real reasons why a woman would serve you with divorce papers and never talk to you about it first. Okay, listen to me. There's only two reasons why a woman would do that. Listen to what I'm telling you. There's only two reasons why a woman will serve you with divorce papers but never talk to you about the fact that she might want a divorce. The first reason is if you're very abusive and she fears for her safety. Hell yeah, she ain't gonna tell you she gonna divorce you. She got to do that shit away from you, right? So I understand that, right? The second reason why a woman would do it is if she really doesn't want to end the marriage. And it's really an ultimatum. See, when a woman gives you an ultimatum, she can do it one of two ways. She can come to you and say, if you don't change or if you don't do this, I'll divorce you, right? She can come and do that, which is threatening you, right? It's a threat, right? Or she can manipulate you. Okay, remember I tell you guys all the time, when women want something, when it comes to their emotions not being serviced, when they want something from you, they're either going to come and ask you for it, demand it, suggest it, or whatever, or they're going to manipulate you for it. Okay, the reason why a woman would manipulate you versus asking you is because she knows you're going to say no. She knows you're going to say no. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. She knows, because of who you are, that what she wants, if she was to simply ask you for it, she wouldn't get it. So she has to manipulate you for it, right? So an example of that would be, you are in an open relationship. The woman doesn't want it to be open anymore. She wants you to close it. She wants sexual exclusivity. Now, so she might come to you and just tell you that. But if a woman knows that you're going to tell her no, but she still wants a relationship, she just wants it to be closed, she'll manipulate you for it. How? Zach, how can a woman manipulate you to try and get her way? If she's married to you, she can file for divorce and never tell you about it. So that way, because in her mind, the emotional shock that she thinks you're going to feel when you get served, because normally when you get served with divorce papers, there's a sheriff that shows up. There's a sheriff. So when you open your door and there's a sheriff, or somebody from the court with a badge on, you looking at them like, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck at my door with this paperwork? And you might not know what it is. Like, who the fuck? And they say you're being served. So you might think you're being sued or something. And then you look at the paperwork and you see such and such versus such and such. Why is my girl's name saying verse me? What? Verse me? Is this bitch divorcing me? Oh, hell no, right? You see what I'm saying? So for most guys, the emotional shock of seeing that, for most guys who are weak, it will bring them back to the negotiation table. Baby, just tell me what I gotta do. Just tell me what I gotta do. But with Carrie, the reason why women get emotional when that's happened with me is when I get the divorce papers. Where'd that piece of paper go? Hold on. When I get the divorce papers, when they serve me with the paper, and I realize what it is, I look at it for a second, I shake my head, and I say, yo, you got a pen? Yeah, you got a pen? If you want a divorce, I'll give it to her. I'm not gonna fight you. And let me tell you, one time I did that, I signed the divorce papers, which was dumb. It was emotional, right? To sign them right away, right? I mean, luckily it didn't come back to haunt me, right? But it was dumb. But my point is, when I signed them shits, the call that I got, why did you sign? Why did you sign? What do you mean? Well, you want a divorce, bitch? I'm giving you a divorce. No, Carrie, no. She gambled. She really thought it would work. She thought he would be so emotional. He would be so emotional about the prospect of me leaving him. We got this house together. You know, his kids live here. His life is going to be turned upside down if I divorce him. Bitch, I got a modest studio apartment with no furniture waiting on me. I will go to that motherfucker willingly before I let you manipulate me. Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch. I will go to a modest 436 square foot apartment with no furniture, nigga. And I've done this before. I will sleep in a sleeping bag for about 2 weeks, hoping roaches don't crawl on my ass and shit while I'm sleeping until I get some furniture. I will do that shit willingly before I stay in a relationship with your goofy ass. Let's get a divorce. Carrie, you know you're not going to see your kids as much. I'll see them when I see them. I'll see them when I see them. Give them my love. There's pictures of me all through the house. They remember what I look like. I'll see them when I see them. Because I'm not compromising my peace, tranquility, or happiness for nobody. No, let's do the divorce. Let's do that. And here's the thing, guys, and I would tell you this. Once a woman does that, there's no coming back. Like, even if she tries to renege, and I've had that happen, where the chick tried to renege, well, you know what, maybe I was a little rash. Oh, you think, bitch? Because here's the thing, and I'm going to finish it with this. And this is how emotional women are. And this is what I want guys to understand. For guys who've never been married or you don't know anything about divorce laws, and I can't speak for any other state but Texas. When you file for divorce in Texas, that's at least $4,500, $5,000 that you're putting down on a lawyer. I need guys to understand how a woman can be so emotional and so irrational that she thinks giving a man this ultimatum, she is so confident that it's going to work, she is willing to spend $5,000 to do it. I'm telling you. Because, again, when a woman is really, really done with you, that $5,000, she'll spend 10 to get rid of you, right? Okay, and most women will try and get their lawyer to make your lawyer have you pay for the shit, right? But my point is, for a woman to file for divorce, but she really doesn't want to get divorced, she's just using it as a ploy to get you to, act different, but she really still wants to stay with you. For her to spend $4,500, $5,000 just to do that. I remember one time when a chick did that, I was like, you spend all that money, huh? And I'm calm about it. Again, see, a lot of y'all, when a chick want to divorce y'all are all emotional and shit. I'm talking to the chick all calm. Yeah, as soon as I got served with them, because a chick come home with her wedding ring still on and shit. Like, after serving you with divorce papers, she still got her wedding ring on. Where you think mine is at? Off. So the chicks, why is your wedding ring off? Bitch, look at this paperwork. The chick is asking you why your ring is off, and you pick up a stack of, you filed for divorce. What do you mean why my ring is off, bitch? Right? So I'm talking to the chick calm, right? Yeah, so yeah, we need to get to talking about how we gonna divvy this shit up. Yeah, I went apartment hunting today. Like, you looking for a place to live already? You just got served a couple of hours ago. Yeah, girl, you gotta get started. Never too soon. All right. So I'm calm. Like, hey. So yeah, we gotta talk about who picking the kids up from school. So I'm calm about it. And then I say, let me ask you a question. How much was your divorce attorney? How much did you spend on that shit? Like, this is how I'm talking to him. How much you spend for that shit? Damn, girl, that's a lot of money. Damn, girl, you won't be getting that back. Right? This is how I'm talking to him. Damn, girl, you won't be getting that back. You know what? It's a shame too. Because if you would have came to me like a real bitch, we could have just got legally separated. Yeah, we could have got legally separated. Girl, it would have saved you a whole lot of money if you would have did it that way. Hey, you want to see the face of a chick that you're talking to like that, and you're telling her, if you would have came to me first and told me how you was feeling, we could have got a legal separation. And who knows? Maybe we could have worked on it, maybe not. But we could have got a legal separation, and you would have saved all of that money. So when I told the chick, so Carrie, you saying that there may have been a chance? I'm like, yeah, but not now because you filed for divorce. It's too late. Oh, shit. I swear to God. Oh, ah, 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 ah. I'm mean, guys. I'm mean. I oh, shit. Because here's the thing. Again, when a breakup happens, I'm not emotional. It's always the chicks. They're super emotional, right? And I'm not mean, guys. I'm just telling her, hey, you did it wrong. You see, if you would have came to me first, we could have devised a situation that could have been, a little. It would have been beneficial to me, regardless. But maybe you could have got a little something out of it too. But you did it wrong. You shouldn't have did it that way. And I tell the chick, whoever gave you advice to do that, hey girl, you want to get his attention? File for divorce. He gonna think you mean it. And my thing is, I know you don't mean it. I know you. I know. Girl, I know you really don't mean it because I see how you act. I know you really don't want this to happen, right? But you feel, and that's usually, guys, when women get desperate, when they feel like they have no other option, but they still want to be with you, but they feel like, but I can't go on with it the same way. I just want them to change a little bit. Can you change a little bit? Can you just give me a little bit? Just a little bit. Like one of my exes, right? Real quick. And I already told this story before, right? She was so jealous. She was so jealous of other women that when my son was playing football, see, at first, she didn't have nothing to say, right? But when she saw how friendly that the mothers who had sons that were playing football, when she saw how friendly they were with me. Now, mind you, I wasn't fucking with none of these chicks. I could have. Oh, I could have. There was a couple of different football moms I could have fucked, but I didn't. Okay, even when I was single, there's a reason why I don't fuck with football moms. Because I got rules. I don't. So even if I was single, I wouldn't have fucked them. But my point is, she was so jealous of these chicks giving me attention that she literally threatened to end the marriage because I wouldn't make my son stop playing football. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. She wanted me to make my son stop playing football so I can stop being around those women, right? I'm telling you, this is what happened. I told this story years ago. And I think he would go to practice, like, I want to say 3 days a week. I want to say 3 days a week, and he would have a game. So 4 days a week, I was preoccupied, right? No, this is a true story, but I swear to God. Because when she filed for divorce, I didn't know why. I was like, what the fuck? Like what the hell? I had no clue why she filed. Because she never came to me, so I didn't know. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't mistreat her. I don't. So what the fuck is she doing, right? Right. So I was clueless, right? And I never asked. I never asked. She just one day, she came to me and she was talking to me about why I signed the divorce papers and all of that. And then she finally said, this is how she tried to put it. Okay, real quick, where's it at? Let me tell you, this is how she tried to frame it. Because at first I didn't know that was the reason, right? She tried to frame it like this. She was like, yeah, when you're away from home 4 days a week, it just takes time away from us and all of that. And I'm like, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. That wasn't it. So when I said, no, I'm not making him quit football. I'm taking him. And that's that. So then she tried to negotiate. She said, well, so instead of taking him to practice 3 days a week, can you just take him 1 day a week? And I'm like, no, bitch. No, he playing football, that's that. Either deal with it or don't. Right? So what I discovered was, because she used to go to the practice in the game, what I discovered was she was jealous. She had a problem with the chicks, with the other mothers. I guess flirting with me and all that. I guess she had a problem. And nobody ever said anything to me that was out of the way. Nobody ever disrespected her, right? But she just had a problem because they were friendly. Y'all got to remember, I'm a playfully flirty guy, but I'm not touching nobody. So she just didn't like that women like to talk to me. And here's the funny part. Some of these women had husbands and they had no problem with their wives talking to me, right? Even though they were friendly and a little bit flirty with it. Some of them were a little bit flirty with it, right? But she for her, bro, she just couldn't take it. But even with that, with jealousy, and I've talked about this with jealousy. If a woman is jealous, look, it's one thing for a woman to be a little jealous, but when a woman is super jealous, where it's impacting the fabric of the relationship, and that's another thing that I ignored. I would check it, but I still stayed. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes checking bitches ain't enough. See, the only time checking really matters is when the woman stops the behavior. See, when you check a chick and she stops the behavior and she gets her mind right, then that's cool. But if you're checking a woman for the same infractions or similar infractions, that means that what you're doing is not taking. She's not responding. She's not respecting the boundaries. So even though I might have checked her for being jealous, she's going to act jealous again. I'm going to check it, and then it's just a never-ending cycle. And here's the thing. This is what guys got to understand. Anytime women are being disrespectful and they are ignoring boundaries, this happens every time. If you're just dating her, you see it. When you make her a girlfriend, it gets worse. When you make her a wife, it gets worse. It increases. Whatever she's doing, it gets worse. It gets progressively worse. Just like when a guy is settled for and a woman doesn't like fucking him, it doesn't happen abruptly. She don't just stop fucking him abruptly. No, she cuts back a little at a time. See, the first time, it was a week and he wasn't fucking. Then it's 2 weeks. Now it's a month. Now it's 3 months. It progresses. And usually it progresses as the woman gains a foothold in a relationship where she feels like she is running it. Like her position is firm. She is in full control of the relationship. You're not going anywhere. She's running you. So now she can begin to pull back on that shit she never wanted to do to begin with. And it just progressively worse. So even with the jealousy shit, when I was first checking her, now remember, she went from this is the high interest girlfriend, medium interest wife. When I was first checking her, she was like, okay. But then when I started to do that in love shit, it picked back up. It stopped. She stopped for a while, but it picked back up because of what I was doing. Because in her mind, even if it's subconscious, there is a chink in his armor. There's a hole under his fence based on, because he's emotional. Anytime you're acting emotional like the woman, or you're acting more emotional than a woman, she already knows, I got him. Because here's the thing about emotionality. You can never beat a woman being emotional. You will never win. You can never, ever, you can't stand toe to toe being emotional with a woman. You cannot stand toe to toe. You can't. See, the best way to deal with a woman's emotion is to be indifferent or dismissive, right? Remember, I'm telling the chick, no, we getting a divorce. You know, it's too late for you. I'm being dismissive of her emotions. See, I'm gonna give y'all just a little bit of game. There's a little bit, right? But you got to have some game to understand this, right? See, when when a woman is trying to gain control of the situation, and she's being emotional, and you're being emotional with her, that emboldens her to fight harder. This is why when you get in the mud and you get emotional with women, they go harder. They go harder. Like if you're out, like an example is if you're out in public and a woman rejects you, and he'd be like, all right, bitch. Now she's about to go hard in the paint. But if you just be like, and you just walk, let's say she's acting disrespectful and you just walk away. She has no ammunition. But the moment you get emotional with her, she's like, my playground. This is my playground. Because women know, here's the thing. When a woman is not attracted to you, there is nothing you can say to hurt her feelings. But when you are attracted to her, there is everything she can say to hurt yours. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. When a woman is not attracted to you, you can call her ugly, you can call her whatever you want. Now, it might irritate her a little bit. She might be a little pissed about it, but you can't really hurt her feelings. Like, she ain't really gonna go cry like that because there's no emotions for you because she's not attracted to you, right? Now, if she was attracted to you and you were calling her out of her name, then you can hurt her feelings then, right? So this is why when guys try to argue with chicks, oh, fuck you, bitch, fuck you, nigga, you broke ass nigga, and all women gotta do is go down a list and they'll get you. Go down a list. Zach, what do you mean go down a list? See, if a woman don't really know you that well, but because you are a male, she knows that most males, their ego is attached to something silly, whether it be their dick, sex, how they look, money, something. Their ego is attached to their height, to their weight, to their body, their teeth, something, right? So all a woman got to do is just go down a list. That's why you got a small dick, nigga. And even if she never seen your dick before, if you're insecure about having a small dick and a woman never even seen your dick, and you're insecure, and this is a woman you were sexually attracted to, and y'all get to arguing, and she was like, man, that's why I ain't want your small dick ass. I know you ain't got no big dick, you small dick nigga. That's gonna hurt you because it's true. So all a woman got to do is go down a list. Small dick, broke, that's why you ugly, that's why you short. If she go down a list of all the things she thinks a man might be insecure about, for a lot of you, she'll land on one. She'll get you. She'll get you, right? And you can make fun of how she looks. And all she'll say is, but you wanted to fuck me though. And that kills everything you got to say after that. But you wanted to fuck me though. You can call her fat, you can call her ugly, you can say that's why you got all them kids. You can say whatever you want. All she gotta say is, but you still wanted this pussy though. You just mad because your broke ass, little dick ass can't get it, nigga. And now you're pissed. Oh, this bitch, right? Because you're already mad that she rejected you, but because you wanted to act like, all sensitive about it, now she's giving it to you, right? Instead of just walking away, all you gotta do is walk away. Walk away. Because if you get into an argument with women, they will. Now, not me though. Not me though. Women do not want to get into a spat with me emotionally. They do not want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Not with me though, because see, I'm logical about it, right? I'll just talk to you about it. Huh? I'm all of that, huh? You just mad because you couldn't have my dick to yourself. You just mad because the same shaking convulsion I give you, I give to multiple women. You just mad. See, women don't want to get into it because see, when a woman loves you, no, she don't want no, and you a petty nigga. She don't want to do that, girl. Cause hey, this is why any woman who ever met me, they don't want to do that. You don't want to get into that. You don't want to get into a back and forth with me. And the reason why is because they know no matter what I say to Carrie, one, it's either not going to hurt his feelings, or even if it does, he will never show it. I will never know that it got to him. He will never show it. He will never say anything or show me that it got to him. So if I go back and forth with him, I know he has a mean streak. He'll say so much hurtful shit that it will break me down. So let me not say anything to this man. But when a woman ain't really feeling you like that, she ain't really worried about that. I'm just letting you know, right? The silent betrayal, how women trade relationship loyalty for emotional attention. Now, we talked about a lot of shit. We talked about a lot of shit. I'll share some things with you guys, some of the shit I shared before. And I don't mind sharing it simply because I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I've made some mistakes, right? I made some mistakes. It's okay. But by and large, guys, when you're dealing with women who are not sexually attracted to you, but you deal with them anyway, you have to be prepared for a woman to be emotionally unstable. When I say emotionally unstable, I don't mean she's going to be crazy. What I mean is she's going to be emotionally unfulfilled. Guys, women, heterosexual women, they need to deal with men they are sexually attracted to who are also sexually attracted to them. They need to do that. Okay, whether it's something casual or something more meaningful, but it has to be a man that biologically and naturally their bodies are responding to. It has to be that, right? Because if not, they're going to be deficient within a relationship. A woman cannot, again, and women, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because I don't want to pretend to speak for women for everything, right? Because there's some things that I'm not going to know. I don't pretend to know everything about women because I don't, right? But I do think I have an understanding of women better than most men, right? But my point is, a woman, just like guys, just like you, real quick, let me go. And this is with anybody. This is just human connection. When you think about some of the passport bros, they're not just going overseas to pay for pussy. Some of them are, yes. But some of them aren't just going to pay for pussy. They're willing to pay for it all. They want the girlfriend experience. They want the cuddling, the pillow talk, the taking showers together, the long walks in the park holding hands, spending the night together. They want that. They want the affection, the non-sexual. They want it too, right? So some guys, they will go pay money for that part of it too, right? So even with guys who trick, a lot of guys, when all they do is trick, they're emotionally deficient. Because anytime you deal with people and you never have a genuine or authentic connection with people, something is off. You're not fulfilled as a human being. You got to remember, we're all connected. We're all social beings. Now, you can make a conscious decision not to be social, but you're still a social being. Humans are social beings. Like some animals are social animals, some animals aren't. We're social beings. So if you make a decision not to, socialize, many times you're going to be deficient emotionally because you don't have real genuine connections with people. Like, and even when you talk about the opposite sex, okay, I don't give a fuck who you are. Okay, I'll use myself as an example. I don't want to speak for nobody. Okay, I can have a fuck buddy for years and not have no emotional connection with her. I can have sex with multiple women at the same time who are in a rotation and never have an emotional connection with either one of them and be perfectly fine. But I'm gonna tell you, do I want to go my whole life and never have a profound emotional connection with a woman? No, I don't. Now, fortunate for me, I've met a lot of women, more women than the average guy, who I've had profound emotional connections with. So do I want to go? No, no, that's important to me, right? But it's only important to me on my terms. I'm cool with having a profound emotional bond or connection with women or a woman. I'm cool with that. But it has to be the right woman at the right time, and it has to be on my terms. But do I want to spend the rest of my life, whatever I got left, and I'm just fucking chicks and that's it? Just fucking, 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 fucking. That's it. Fucking, fucking. No. Do I want to get into a monogamous relationship? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm cool with having meaningful, profound situations where the women are sharing me. They're not the only ones. And 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 I got that. And I'm gonna get that. I've always gotten that. I've never lacked. I've never felt like I'm not getting what I want. I've never felt that when it comes to women. I'm not getting what I want. I never felt that, right? Whether it be sexually or otherwise, non-sexually, sexually, because all I ask for is respect. Okay, the moment I feel like I ain't getting that, then all that other shit I'm getting don't even matter no more. Okay, I don't give a fuck about your pussy. I don't give a fuck that you cook. I don't give a fuck that you do shit for me. You're disrespectful. So none of that matters anymore, right? But guys, it's been real. I'm going a lot longer than I thought I would. I feel like I got some errands I got to be running. I feel like I got some shit I got to do, right? Guys, on the way out, if y'all don't mind liking and sharing, right? Or if you're not sub for the algorithm, at least like it. Even if you don't sub, fuck it. Don't sub. Just like the shit, right? Just like it, right? And if you do feel so inclined, though, if you felt there was some good information in here, share it. If you don't feel like you want to share the whole thing, then you can just do timestamps. Hey, y'all, look, from this time to this time, peep game. The man know what he's talking about a little bit. Just a little. I know a little bit about a lot. You know what I'm saying? I know a little bit about a lot. Everyone who participated, everyone in the live chat, whether you ask questions or not, I appreciate all y'all. Y'all could have been doing anything else with y'all time, but y'all fucking with me. And I'm humbled by that. So even when I talk about women humbly submitting and respecting, even as a man, even when you have people that rock with you, you still have to humble yourself, because there would be no the return of manhood without y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know, I would still exist. I would still be enjoying my life. But just as far as y'all being here and this channel being what it is, it wouldn't exist without y'all, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not enough to make it go, right? I have to have willing participants, just like women, willing participants, not reluctant participants, willing participants. Yeah, humility and respect. Humility and respect. And sometimes I go hard on you guys, but shout out to Miles. It's because I care. I hate to see men act less than men. It's hard. It's gut wrenching and it's heartbreaking to see men play themselves. It's and I look at Will Smith and I want to tell Will Smith, dog, you're Will Smith. Do you not know who the fuck you are? Why are you putting up with this shit? You're Will Smith. You're Steph Curry. Do you not know the power of your name? That name, Will Smith. The power of your name, let alone the power of the character of the man. And you're putting up with this? Do you not know who you are? Brother, you deserve better. But you only deserve better when you think you deserve better. Because I can tell you, Boz, Joe Blast, Uncle Guns, Justin Tejada, Giovanni, you deserve better, brother. And you can be like, I know, Zach. But until you actually start choosing better, then you don't know. Choose better. God, I like a peaceful life. Look, I like me a sexy woman that know how to listen. Life is fun that way. Everybody, it's a win-win. She get her a man that know how to lead, who is sexy, and you get a woman that know how to listen that is sexy. Bro, what better connection is that? A motherfucker that know how to lead and a woman that know how to follow, and they both love being around each other. She don't, and here's the thing, you never want a woman to feel like, and it's not about caring about how a woman feels, right? But you never want a woman to feel like she's anxious, like there's anxiety, like she doesn't know if she wants to be here or not. You never want a woman to be wishy-washy about her desire to be with you. You never want her to be reluctant or hesitant to make choices that benefit you. But you don't want to be in that situation. You want women to do it with a smile on her face, with glee and joy in her heart. You need that because again, a woman has to see the benefit. But guys, here's the key. The woman has to see the benefit beyond the shallow shit. There has to be substance. She has to see the benefit, meaning sex is, in the grand scheme of life, sex is shallow. Just sex, just in the grand scheme of life, having sex is superficial and shallow. Being handsome, being pretty, liking someone because of how they look, superficial and shallow. Liking people because of how they make you feel emotionally, superficial and shallow, right? But when you talk about substance, when you talk about things like respect, gratitude, being appreciative, right? Courtesy, integrity, not fucking people over, right? Even in relationships, don't fuck people over. You ain't got to fuck nobody over. And here's the key. You really don't have to fuck nobody over to get what you want, unless you're trying to get what you want from someone who doesn't want to give it. You understand? You don't have to fuck anybody over to get what you want, unless you're trying to get what you want from someone who doesn't want to give it. So anytime someone got something that you want and they don't want to give it up, but you want it, what do you got to do to get it? Manipulate them for it. And I'm going to finish it with this. I promise. I keep saying that. PUA tactics. That's what PUA tactics teach. When you encounter a very attractive woman who doesn't want to willfully go out with you, who doesn't want to willfully give you the pussy, manipulate her for it. And see, people think manipulation is cool. Now, if you're a clever manipulation where the woman and the man benefits, or both people benefit, I don't have a problem with that. But when it's nefarious, or when it's deceitful, or when it's just fucked up, no, because somebody's gonna get hurt. Somebody's gonna get hurt. This is why it's important. Any relationship you have with a woman, even if it's sexual, even if it's just a fuck buddy situation, both you and the woman, this is important. I need people to understand this. Both you and the woman need to see the benefit in that relationship dynamic. Both of you have to see it. You have to see the benefit in it. Because if the woman sees the benefit in doing it your way, she has no need to complain. The only time a woman is going to complain is if she doesn't see the benefit in doing it your way, but she insists on having it hers. It's going to be a problem. So it has to be, even if it's the fuck buddy situation where the woman is all aboard, she's fine. She's good. Even if she wants more, she doesn't want more at the expense of upsetting what you already have. That's the key. It's okay if she wants to date you seriously. Maybe she will. Maybe she'll get an opportunity to. Maybe she won't. It's okay if she wants that. But when she understands that the current situation is of great benefit to her, she would much rather keep that situation going than to upset it by trying to demand or manipulate you into giving you some other shit. When you pick right and you deal with women the right way, you're going to see that women don't mind following you, even when you're not giving them necessarily what they want initially. She has to feel that there's a benefit, though. There has to be a benefit. It can't be just for you. She has to benefit. All right, on that note, appreciate y'all. One last question. What's the most important lesson for a man to learn when leading women? Consistency. That's it. Consistent. If you want a woman to show up for you consistently, show up for her consistently. It's really that simple. If you want a woman to show up for you consistently, show up for her consistently. If you want a woman to never lie to you, don't lie to her. It's really that simple. Whatever type of treatment you want from a woman, give her that same treatment first. What's so hard about that? This is why when guys talk about, oh, you just can't tell a woman you want sex. Bro, I need to know. I need to know if she's gonna act funny if I mention this. I need to know right now if she's gonna act funny if I talk about sex. I need to know how she feels about that. We don't have to have sex right now, but I need to know how she feels about me talking about sex. Because if she got a problem with it, then we got a problem. It won't work. Because here's the thing about sex, and I keep saying I'm gonna end this shit. You have to take the power away from women. Okay, and what I mean by that is this. Okay, now understand, a woman will always have power over her own body. Okay, let me be clear. No matter what. I don't care how much a woman submits to you, how much she loves you, whatever. She always will have power over her own body when it comes to autonomy and consent. What I'm saying is this. When I say take the power out of sex or take the power out of a woman utilizing sex as a tool, let me just say this about sex. And I was going to do a separate video doing this, so I might as well just get a lot of this shit I'm talking about. I was going to talk about in separate videos. So I'm just giving it to you now. So now I'm not going to give you out them separate videos because I'm talking about this shit now. This is what guys need to understand this about sex. And once you understand this about sex, you will stop being so emotional about it. Okay? Whether you like it or not, sex is a tool. Period. Sex is a tool. Period. Whether you like it or not, that's what it is. And the reason why sex is a tool is because it can be seen as a commodity or a resource. Period. Anytime something can be seen as a commodity or a resource, or it can be looked at as valuable, you can use it as a tool. And what guys don't understand, this is what guys have turned dating into. When you look at Will Smith, when you look at Ayesha Curry, and you look at all these different things, because guys have pedestalized sex, and we're talking about thousands of years. This is of thousands of years in the making. All this shit that's going on right now is thousands of years in the making. I'm gonna give you a little history lesson. Thousands of years in the making. What men have been trying to do for eons is control sex. Men have been trying to control sex for eons. They've been trying to control how society views sex, how society engages in sex. They've been trying to control how women should allow men access to it. They've been trying to control everything. So what has happened is, in men's obsessive desire to want to control everything, they've lost control. Men don't control sex anymore. Well, they never did. Okay, let me say that. Men never really control sex. Is that women just played along. All these centuries, women just played along. And some women, they cheated. Okay, women been cheating for thousands of years. Like, guys be looking at the internet and all that, well, social media, you just hear about it more. Infidelity has been going on for thousands of years. If you look up the history of sex, women in positions of power, women who were empresses, queens, if you look at any woman in history who had power, most of them had more than one lover. Period. If you look at the history of monarchy and where women were in power and they were running shit, do you think they had one motherfucker they was fucking? No. No. Even back during slavery, there were women who were slave owners because maybe their husband died and everything was left to her. So even when women would go to the slave auctions, some of them were there. It wasn't that many of them, of course, because men were still running shit. But they would be there bidding on slaves. And who do you think they were picking? Who do you think they were picking? The strongest black Negroes. Why? Peep game. Peep game. I'm giving y'all some lessons. Okay, I'm gonna utilize white women. I'm gonna utilize white women. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all the power of sex. And once women realize they can use it as a tool, how powerful they can be using it, right? So go back to the slavery days and don't take my word for it. Look it up. Just look up the history of sex. Just look it up. They go all the way back thousands of years ago to Genghis Khan. They go back they talk about it going back way back then, right? So these women, see, this is what a lot of guys don't understand. Women aren't just having sex with men to be sexually gratified. They're also using sex as a tool to control. Sex is a very powerful tool to a weak motherfucker. So a lot of these times when women were having sex with these slaves, do you think they were submitting to these niggas? And I know it's kind of the fact that I call them slaves and I'm using the term nigga, it sounds all fucked up, right? But do you think they were submitting to these slaves sexually? Yeah, they were having sex with them, but do you think they were submitting? Now, sexually, they were submitting, but you have to look at them like a dominatrix. Think about a dominatrix. Think about a dominatrix. Putting a collar on niggas and shit, putting a red ball in their mouth. So some of these women, these white women that were fucking their slaves, that's how they were doing them. They talk about this. It was no nice shit. Like, hey, slave, that big mandingo pecker of yours, let me have that. No, it was some dominating shit. Like, bring your black ass over here and kiss my feet. That's how they was doing them. And I'm not saying that was the case with all women, because for some of the women, it was sexual attraction. It was, I sexually desire him. But for some women, it was pure control. Pure control. Why? But I'm gonna tell you why. Let me get back to my point. You look at white women as an example, right? Look at white women as an example. They've been dominated by their men for centuries, right? So if you're a white woman and you are in a privileged position to own slaves, guess what you get to do that you never got to do before? Dominate. You get to dominate. So if you are a woman and you are in a position, you've never been in a position to dominate. You've been directed to and dominated your whole life. And you are in a position to dominate men. You don't think some women, now not all women are going to take advantage of that. A lot of women, they don't want to do that. But there are some women who are more than prepared to run men, right? So when I say sex as a tool, like even now, when women say, cash at me, buy me a drink, they're utilizing sex as a tool right now. That's what they're doing. Yeah, they might not necessarily fuck you, but they're using the fact that you're talking to them. So here's the thing. The fact that you're talking to them, what do they know? He thinks I'm pretty or attractive. The fact that he thinks I'm pretty and attractive, of course he wants to fuck me. So because I know he wants to fuck me, let me use that as a tool to get what I want. Buy me a drink. Cash at me. And this is what women know. If they keep doing that, enough men will. Enough men will buy them a drink. Enough men will cash at them. Why? Because they know sex is a powerful tool and you can bargain with it. You can negotiate with it. See, what guys who have game have done is we've taken the power away from women to negotiate with sex. That's what we've done. So when we tell you guys, be direct with women, get to the sex, it's not just about getting a nut. It's about dominating the sex so you take the control away from her so she can't use it as a tool. She can't use it as a tool. And here's the thing. The more sexually attracted a woman is to you, and the more she actually enjoys the sex, she has no desire to use it as a tool anyway. So you see that? If you're dealing with women who actually want you and they desire you and they enjoy you sexually, why would they want to use it as a tool? Peep game. I had an ex, and I'm not condoning cheating, right? I'm not condoning it, right? There was a time when I was much younger, when I was a cheater, right? There will be times when I would cheat. The chick still wanted to have sex. And there was one time in particular where a chick found out I cheated, and maybe within an hour of her finding out I cheated, she wanted to fuck. She said, I'm horny. And I'm looking at her like, you horny? Just found out I was fucking another chick and you're horny? And this is what she said to me. It was the realest shit. And she wasn't the only woman to say something similar to this. But she said, yes, I'm hurt. And I'm mad. But your dick didn't do anything to me. You did. I'm not mad at your dick. I'm mad at you. And I'm hurt. So yes, I can have sex with you and I can enjoy it, and I'm gonna bust all on your dick. But right after we done, I'm gonna go right back to being mad. And I'm like, bet. All right, let's do this. And the reason why that particular woman, there was a couple other women, but that particular woman, the reason why she was able to separate it like that, where she was able to separate my sexual desire for this man has nothing to do with me being mad at him. Yeah, I'm mad at him. But his dick, I ain't mad at him. Man, his dick are best of friends. Buford McGee didn't do anything to me, right? Buford McGee didn't do anything to me, right? So why would I be mad at Buford, right? I'm mad at Carrie, right? So we would have sex and the chick would be like, all right, I'm not talking to you for a while now. And I was just kind of like, but anyway, but real talk though, but the reason why that happened, because in the beginning when we first met, we were fuck buddies. It was strictly sexual. So the foundation of our initial relationship or our beginnings was sexual. So much so that she was intoxicated with the dick. She felt like that's my dick. I can't, right? So months later, years later, all right, yeah, she mad because I was creeping. But she like, but that's my dick though. I still want it. You know what I mean? I'm just mad at the nigga. Like, do better. But here's real quick. I never apologized when I cheated. I never apologized. I'm gonna tell you why I never apologized. I never said I was sorry. And the reason why I never apologized is because I would always tell the chick, I would tell them, because they would ask me, so you're not even gonna say I'm sorry? I would just say, you know what, my bad, you're hurt, but I can't really say I'm sorry because I meant to do that. Like I meant to fuck the chick. Like if I tell you that I'm sorry that I fucked her, I would be lying. Because like I meant to do that shit. Obviously, I did it, right? But also, another reason I can't apologize is because I might do that shit again, right? What sense does it make for me to apologize only to do it again? So because I meant to do it, and I very well, and because I might do it again, like it's more than likely it's gonna happen, right? So because that might happen, it makes no sense for me to apologize. And I would tell the chick that to her face. Why am I gonna apologize? I might do that shit again. Well, if you do that shit, I might leave you. Well, I guess I better make sure you don't find out, huh? Let the games begin, bitch. Let the games begin. True story. I ain't playing with y'all. Right? The silent betrayal. How women trade relationship loyalty for emotional attention. The moral of the story is this. Only deal with women on your terms. Only deal with women that you are compatible with, sexually and non-sexually. Only deal with women who value the sanctity of marriage, who value relationship privacy, and they don't go around telling your business. But that's on you. Because how you meet that woman, how you deal with that woman, how you date that woman, that's going to go a long way to whether or not you end up like a Steph Curry or like a Will Smith. Now, you might not ever have their fame and money, but you can damn sure have their problems. You can still have them problems. Shit. All right, man, I'm out of here, man. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.